Chapter 23:39. This old servant still has the same request as before. Master, please leave some bloodline for my clan. Under everyone's gaze, ZK had a solemn expression as he voiced his request to Imo Qingyun. Hearing ZK's words, Imo Qingyun's expression also became serious. He said, "Don't worry, I will naturally keep my promise to you. I will only kill people with cultivation above the saint realm." "Thank you, Master." Hearing Imo Qingyun's promise, ZK immediately bowed and thanked him. His expression immediately relaxed. After making a promise to ZK, Imo Qingyun thought for a moment and said, "I have a suggestion for you. If you are in charge of the dark demon race in the future, don't let your clansmen plant bloodlines. This is not a long-term solution." ZK nodded helplessly at Imo Qingyun's suggestion. This was the dark demon race's biggest problem. Planting a powerful bloodline could increase one's talent, but there would also be a lot of hidden dangers. If one wanted to plant a powerful bloodline, they would definitely make enemies with powerful clans and be hunted down by powerful clans. In the long run, the dark demon race would incur the wrath of the masses and become the target of all races. Martial cultivation is going against the heavens. You can't rely on bloodline power to go far. After giving ZK a sincere suggestion, Imo Qingyun didn't stop talking. He continued, "I think that the dark demons need to change their cultivation methods. Have you ever thought that the immortals don't have the power of bloodlines, but they can still contend with the gods? You should learn from the immortals." "Thank you, Master, for your advice. This old servant understands." Hearing Imo Qingyun's words, ZK's expression immediately shook as if he had been enlightened. At this moment, the knot in his heart was suddenly completely untied. The immortal race could contend against the god race without bloodline power. Why couldn't the dark demon race do the same? Without bloodline power, the early stages of cultivation will be difficult, but it will be better to hone one's mind. Seeing ZK's reaction, Imo Qingyun nodded in satisfaction. He continued to talk about some of his thoughts. "Look at the wild continent. There are countless tribes with bloodline power, but how many are truly powerful? As one's bloodline continues to be passed down, one's strength will become weaker and weaker. This kind of talent will eventually be replaced." Imo Qingyun's view of the world had changed completely ever since he had taken a trip to the galaxy path. He discovered that the so-called martial soul, bloodline, and special physique were all innate talents. This kind of innate talent, in the initial stage of cultivation, would make it easy for you, but in the end, there would be a limit. If you blindly rely on your innate talent, when you reach that limit, it will be very difficult to break through. Therefore, in order to reach the peak step by step, the only way was to continuously strengthen oneself. Hearing Imo Qingyun's words, everyone nodded in agreement, and their views on cultivation changed. "I think that the dark demon race's physique can be planted with bloodline power. This means that it is extremely tolerant, and it should be twice the result with half the effort when cultivating immortal techniques." After pointing out the drawbacks of the dark demon race's cultivation, Imo Qingyun pointed out the dark demon race's advantages. This made ZK even more shocked. Then, the way ZK looked at Imo Qingyun changed greatly. "Master, this old servant has comprehended something and needs to go into seclusion immediately." ZK thought for a moment, then asked for instructions from Imo Qingyun and prepared to enter seclusion immediately. Imo Qingyun nodded in agreement when he heard ZK's request. Then, ZK left the conference hall and returned to his residence to cultivate. Imo Qingyun didn't know that because of his words, a new cultivation system had appeared in the wild continent. Of course, this was all for later. This time, I obtained a primordial spiritual treasure on my journey to the Milky Way. It will be of great help to cultivating lightning techniques. After ZK left, Imo Qingyun continued to explain to everyone about the Green Thunder spiritual pearl. He said, "In a moment, I will have Little Blue set up a lightning illusion in the Palace of Fortune. You can all cultivate inside and use the power of lightning to break through your shackles." Hearing Imo Qingyun's words, Han Liu and the others immediately became excited and expectant. Although they didn't know what a primordial spiritual treasure was, they knew it wasn't simple just by hearing its name. Han Liu, seven-headed green dragon, king devourer. Prepare yourselves. In a few days, we will set off for the dark demon race. After telling them about ZK and the green thunder spiritual pearl, Mo Qingyun instructed Han Liu and the others to prepare to set off for the dark demon race. After explaining everything, everyone dispersed and went back to do their own things. In the blink of an eye, a few days passed. On this day, a terrifying aura suddenly appeared in the Palace of Fortune. Following the appearance of this aura, everyone in the Palace of Fortune was shocked. This aura seemed to be a sign of breaking through to the nebula realm. ZK is about to break through. Mo Qingyun sat in the small courtyard and sensed the source of the aura. He immediately rushed to ZK's residence. When Mo Qingyun arrived at ZK's residence, Qin Linglong and the others had also arrived. They stood beside Mo Qingyun in shock. They really didn't expect that ZK would break through to the nebula realm because of Mo Qingyun's guidance. Since the desolate era, countless years had passed, but no one had been able to break through to the nebula realm. They didn't expect that a few words from Mo Qingyun would break through the shackle. This action was really too frightening. While everyone was still in shock, Saint Energy Star clusters flew out of ZK's body. These Saint Energy Star clusters flew out and gathered together to form a wonderful picture. Then, a mysterious force was born between these Saint Energy Star clusters and turned into the shape of clouds. This process didn't last long before all the Saint Energy Star clusters flew back to ZK and returned to his body. Then, the aura that ZK exuded became stronger than before. His cultivation had broken through to the nebula realm. Seeing that ZK's cultivation had broken through, Han Liu and the others were delighted and excited. This indicated that as long as they continued to cultivate, there was hope for them to enter the nebula realm. When Han Liu and the others thought of this, their motivation to cultivate immediately became stronger. This was because ZK's actions had given them hope to break through to the next realm. Just like that, everyone waited for several hours before they saw ZK appear in the room. At this moment, ZK's face was filled with joy. He couldn't suppress the excitement in his heart. He didn't expect that under Mo Qingyun's guidance, he would make a bold move and break through to the nebula realm. Chapter 2340. Thank you, Master, for enlightening me and allowing me to be reborn. Arriving in front of Mo Qingyun, ZK showed a grateful expression and knelt down before Mo Qingyun. No need to be so polite. Seeing ZK's action, Mo Qingyun immediately helped him up and said, "I'm just giving you a suggestion. You were able to comprehend and improve your cultivation because of your comprehension and talent. It has nothing to do with me." ZK did not completely agree with Mo Qingyun's explanation. In his opinion, if Mo Qingyun had not enlightened him, he would not have been able to comprehend. Since your cultivation has broken through, let's set off for the Dark Devil tribe. After a simple conversation with ZK, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any more time and immediately flew out of the Palace of Creation. Seeing Mo Qingyun's action, ZK and the others quickly followed and set off for the Dark Devil tribe. ZK, what do you think about resolving the grudge with the Dark Devil tribe? After leaving the Palace of Creation, Mo Qingyun asked ZK for his opinion to show his respect. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, ZK frowned and some worry emerged on his face. Seeing ZK's reaction, Mo Qingyun was puzzled and felt a little puzzled. From ZK's current behavior, he seemed to be very afraid of the Dark Devil tribe and did not want to bring Mo Qingyun and the others. Under Mo Qingyun's puzzled gaze, ZK was silent for a while before saying, "Master, after we arrive at the Dark Devil tribe, you have to be careful of the first holy son, Ziqingrong. I have been unable to see through him. He gives me a very mysterious and dangerous feeling." Ziqingrong? Mo Qingyun raised his eyebrows and became more interested in this person. He took note of ZK's words. He had already come into contact with two of the holy sons of the Dark Devil tribe. Ziling was just an ordinary character and did not cause him too much trouble. But Zi Yunxiao was exceptionally difficult to deal with. This time, if he had not returned in time, the immortal palace of creation might have been destroyed by Zi Yunxiao. If it were not for Zi Yunxiao's sudden increase in strength, which had inflated his ego, Mo Qingyun would have had to expend a lot of effort to kill him. According to ZK's tone, Zi Chungrong seemed to be more difficult to deal with than Zi Yunxiao. How does he compare to Zi Yunxiao? In order to know how difficult it was to deal with Zi Chungrong, Mo Qingyun asked ZK about the difference between the two of them. In response to Mo Qingyun's question, ZK immediately shook his head and said in a deep voice, "They can't be compared at all." Although Zi Yunxiao is naturally suspicious and cautious in his actions, he's like a baby in front of Zi Qingrong. You have such a high opinion of Zi Qingrong. Upon hearing ZK's reply, Mo Qingyun's eyelids twitched as he realized that Zi Cheng was not simple. If that was the case, he would have to be wary of Zi Chungrong if he headed to the Dark Demon race. While Mo Qingyun was on guard, ZK continued to speak. Let's not talk about Zi Chungrong. Even Zi Yunxiao is much weaker than Zi Shuyan. After hearing ZK's words, Mo Qingyun stopped underestimating his enemy and started to take the Dark Demon race seriously. He had originally thought that, given his current strength, dealing with the Dark Demon race would be a piece of cake. Now, it seemed that this was not the case. The Dark Demon race's foundation was unfathomable. Oh, that's right. The last time Zi Yunxiao returned from the Outer Realm continent, he brought back a stone coffin with a sleeping Dark Demon race member. After chatting with Mo Qingyun for a while, ZK seemed to have thought of something. His expression became more solemn as he said, "If my senses are correct, the Dark Demon race member from the Outer Realm should be infinitely close to the galaxy grade. There is actually such a thing." Upon hearing ZK's words, Mo Qingyun's brows furrowed even tighter and his mood became even heavier. Given his current strength, it was absolutely impossible to suppress a peak Nebula grade Dark Demon race member from the Outer Realm. While Mo Qingyun was shocked, ZK continued speaking. As far as I know, after Zi Yunxiao brought back the stone coffin, everyone began to think of ways to awaken him. If that person is awakened, it will definitely be bad news for us. It seems that I have underestimated the strength of the Dark Demon race. After listening to ZK's narration, Mo Qingyun's last bit of hope was completely extinguished. If what ZK said was true, this trip to the Dark Demon race would be a tough one. Although the situation is not optimistic, I will not shrink back because of this. After calming down, Mo Qingyun immediately made a decision. He still had to make a trip to the Dark Demon race. It wasn't in his character to take a beating without retaliating. Even if he couldn't exterminate the Dark Demon race, he would still teach them a lesson when he went there. Next, Mo Qingyun led everyone on their way to the Dark Devil race's base camp. After traveling for 10 days, they finally arrived in front of the city. Crazy Immortal City? Could it be related to the Crazy Immortal Alliance? Looking at the 3 big words on the city gate, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He instinctively thought of the Madman League and smiled faintly. If that's the case, this world is too small. I can still meet acquaintances here. Mo Qingyun's idea was very simple. If he really encountered the Madman League, he would settle a grudge along the way. Mo Qingyun muttered to himself with a faint smile. Then, he walked into the city, intending to find a restaurant to stay in. Soon, under Mo Qingyun's lead, everyone arrived at a restaurant. This Stay Immortal restaurant could be said to be the most high-end restaurant in the Crazy Immortal City. Please come in. Would you like to have a meal or stay here? When the waiter saw Mo Qingyun and the others come in, he immediately came forward to greet them with a warm smile. After the waiter asked, Mo Qingyun looked at everyone behind him and said, "Serve us some food and wine first. Then arrange 12 first-class rooms for us." Okay. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the waiter's face lit up and his attitude became even more respectful. After a while, Mo Qingyun and the others were led by the waiter to a table. After taking care of Mo Qingyun and the others, the waiter went to prepare the food and wine and arrange the rooms for Mo Qingyun and the others. The waiter was very efficient and quickly arranged the rooms for them. He brought the key to Mo Qingyun and said, "Young master, your luck is really good. There are 12 guest rooms left, and all of them have been arranged for you." "Thank you." After taking the key from the waiter, Mo Qingyun nodded politely and thanked the waiter. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun and the waiter were talking, a luxuriously dressed young man walked into the Stay Immortal restaurant and shouted, "Waiter, bring me the key to the Drunken Dream Pavilion. I want to stay here tonight with a few beauties." Chapter 23:41. Oh no, I forgot to leave the Drunken Dream Pavilion at all times. Looking at the young man walking into the retaining Immortal restaurant, the waiter was so scared that he trembled with cold sweat on his forehead. He clearly remembered that the last time someone made such a mistake, he was beaten into a cripple by the young man at the door. Thinking of his fate, the waiter showed a pleading expression. He turned to Mo Qingyun and said, "Young master, I was careless just now to leave the Drunken Dream Pavilion to you. Please give me the key to the Drunken Dream Pavilion. Young Master Situ Jun's identity is honorable. He is not someone we can provoke. Don't get into trouble because of guest room. His surname is Situ." Hearing the waiter's words, Mo Qingyun narrowed his eyes. He could not help but glance at Situ Jun and asked, "Is the Situ Jun you mentioned someone from the Madman League?" "Yes, he is the young master of the Madman League." "Does young master know young master Situ Jun?" Hearing Mo Qingyun ask about Situ Jun, the waiter was immediately overjoyed. The worry in his heart lessened a little. He felt that once Mo Qingyun knew Situ Jun's identity, he would definitely give the Drunken Dream Pavilion to Situ Jun. This crazy immortal city is indeed related to the Madman League. After knowing Situ Jun's identity, a faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's lips. He waved his hand at the waiter and said, "You can leave now. You don't have to worry about this matter. I will take care of the guest rooms myself." But, seeing Mo Qingyun's attitude, the waiter was dumbfounded. He did not know how to persuade him. He did not expect that Mo Qingyun would not give the Drunken Dream Pavilion to him after knowing Situ Jun's identity. More importantly, with Mo Qingyun's identity, he did not dare to ask too much. So be it. Helpless, the waiter could only walk to Situ Jun and tell him what happened. Useless thing. Hearing the waiter's report, Situ Jun was furious. He slapped the waiter. Under Situ Jun's slap, the waiter was directly sent flying and suffered a serious injury. Situ Jun's action immediately attracted everyone's attention. They all looked over at him. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, Situ Jun arrived in front of Mo Qingyun. He glanced at Mo Qingyun and the others and ordered, "Kid, hand over the key to the Drunken Dream Pavilion. Then, get out of Maniac Immortal City. Don't let me see you again." "How dare you?" Seeing Situ Jun's attitude, Han Liu's face darkened, and he angrily reprimanded him. Regarding Han Liu's berating, Situ Jun did not care in the slightest. He said with a haughty attitude, "Humph, this is insane Immortal City. If you dare to touch a single hair of mine, I will make sure that none of you will be able to leave insane Immortal City." Noisy. Listening to Situ Jun's words, Mo Qingyun showed an impatient expression and hinted to Han Liu, "Break his arms and legs. I want to see what the Madman League can do to me." "Yes, master." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Han Liu immediately understood and raised his hand to grab Situ Jun. As soon as Han Liu made his move, a terrifying aura burst out, causing the surrounding people to be unable to breathe. Great perfection, Sage Realm? No, he is even more powerful than the Great Perfection Sage Realm. Under the pressure of Han Liu's aura, Situ Jun's expression changed drastically. His face was filled with shock. In terms of aura, no one in the Madman League could be compared to Han Liu. In this case, if Han Liu injured him, the Madman League would not be able to do anything. When Situ Jun thought of this, he lowered his posture and smiled apologetically. "Everyone, let's talk nicely. I have offended you earlier. I apologize to all of you. Han Leo ignored Situ Jun's apology and made his move without hesitation. Situ Jun's cultivation was only at the Sage realm. In the face of Han Leo's overbearing attack, he could not resist at all. Kacha! Under Han Leo's attack, a series of crisp sounds of bones cracking came from Situ Jun's body. Then, Situ Jun's hands and feet went limp. His whole body was like a puddle of mud. You dare to hurt me? I will not let you die a good death. Seeing that his limbs were crippled, Situ Jun's eyes were about to burst. He gritted his teeth and roared loudly. In the face of Situ Jun's anger, Emo Qingyun looked at him calmly and said, "Don't say that I didn't give you a chance. You could go find help immediately. We will be waiting here." Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, Situ Jun was stunned. He could not react for a while. Emo Qingyun's performance was too calm. This made him a little uneasy and a little uncertain. "Throw him out." Emo Qingyun impatiently waved his hand and ordered Han Leo as he looked at Situ Jun, whose expression was dark and uncertain. Under Emo Qingyun's order, Han Leo immediately waved his hand and threw Situ Jun out. Then, Situ Jun fell heavily to the ground like a dead dog. Seeing such a scene, the people in Lucien restaurant were all stunned. Knowing Situ Jun's identity, they still dared to cripple him. Emo Qingyun and the others were too domineering. Looks like this young master's identity is even more terrifying than Situ Jun's. The waiter got up with difficulty. When he saw Emo Qingyun's actions, he was immediately shocked. At this moment, he could not help but feel lucky that he did not provoke Emo Qingyun. Who is that young man? He actually has such a powerful servant. Could he be the Dark Demon Clan's holy son? The second holy son of the Dark Demon Clan, Zi Xingyan, has many strong people around him. It shouldn't be Zi Xingyan. If it was Zi Xingyan, Situ Jun would not dare to be so arrogant. That's right. I heard that a month ago, the Madman League had already submitted to the Dark Demon Clan. The Dark Demon Clan's momentum is too strong. It looks like it's inevitable that they will unify the Wild Continent. Seeing Emo Qingyun's performance, the crowd immediately guessed his identity. When everyone spoke of the Dark Devil race, they all revealed reverence and spoke words of regret one after another. Hearing the crowd's words, Emo Qingyun was stunned. His eyes were filled with surprise. He did not expect the Madman League to submit to the Dark Demon Clan. It looked like he had made the right decision to come this time. After hearing everyone's words, I really want to meet Zi Xingyan. Emo Qingyun muttered to himself. He did not think too much about it, and waited for Situ Jun to bring his men over. While Emo Qingyun was waiting, the dishes were served one after another and placed in front of Emo Qingyun and the others. Seeing that the dishes were served, Emo Qingyun and the others picked up their chopsticks and ate while waiting for Situ Jun to bring his men over. Seeing the performance of Emo Qingyun and the others, the respect in everyone's hearts became even more intense. At the same time, the anticipation in everyone's hearts became even more intense. Chapter 2342. Madman League, in front of the mansion. The leader of the Madman League, Situ Mingyu, was leading the elders of the Madman League to welcome the arrival of a group of people. Looking at the approaching group, Situ Mingyu put on a fake smile and said politely, "Brother Longfu, what brings you here today?" The Longfu that Situ Mingyu was referring to was the leader of the Immortal Slaying Hall, Shun Tu Longfu. Hearing Situ Mingyu's question, Shun Tu Longfu smiled brightly and said, "Brother Mingyu, the Immortal Slaying Hall and the Madman League have been fighting for so long. Now that we have all submitted to the Dark Demon race, it is time for us to bury the hatchet. Today, I am here to visit you so that we can help each other in the future." Brother Longfu is right. Situ Mingyu nodded in agreement with Shun Tu Longfu's point of view. His gaze became much friendlier. Shun Tu Longfu was right. They had all submitted to the Dark Demon race, so there was no need to continue fighting. In that case, they might as well shake hands and make peace and help each other in the future. Only in this way could they achieve a win-win situation and have a better foothold in the Dark Wasteland domain. As the group chatted as they walked, they entered the conference hall and each found a seat to sit down. Not long after everyone sat down, Situ Jun came into the conference hall with the help of the others. The young lord was injured. Seeing Situ Jun being helped in, Situ Mingyu and the others' expressions turned cold. Their eyes flashed with a sharp light. Their Madman League's young master had been crippled by someone in the maniac immortal city. This was a great humiliation to the Madman League. Seeing Situ Jun's injuries, Situ Mingyu immediately walked forward and asked with a nervous expression, "Juno, what happened? Who hurt you?" While Situ Mingyu was asking, he also checked Situ Jun's injuries. His expression became uglier and uglier. He found that the person who attacked him had not only broken Situ Jun's arms and legs, but also left a force in his body. Under the erosion of this force, it was as difficult as ascending the heavens for Situ Jun to heal his injuries. How ruthless! After learning about Situ Jun's situation, Situ Mingyu was so angry that his veins were bulging. He clenched his fists tightly. This matter absolutely could not be tolerated. An eye for an eye must be paid back. "Father, you must seek justice for me. Tear that brat and the others into pieces." While Situ Mingyu was inspecting his injuries, Situ Jun revealed an aggrieved expression and said, "Just now, I brought a few friends to stay in the retaining Immortal Inn, but I didn't expect all the rooms to be reserved by that brat. I originally wanted to discuss with him and ask him to give me a room, but who knew that he would attack me without any explanation and order people to cripple my limbs?" As for the specifics of the matter, Situ Jun changed it a little and pushed all the blame to Mo Qingyan. After listening to Situ Jun's words, Situ Mingyu's expression became even colder. He said in a deep voice, "No matter what the reason is, and no matter what his identity is, he dared to cripple my son's arms and legs. I will tear him to pieces." Seeing Situ Mingyu's reaction, Situ Jun immediately revealed a cold smile. A sense of pride rose in his heart as he thought to himself, "Brat, very soon, I will make you regret attacking me. Brother Longfu, please wait for a moment. I have some personal matters to attend to." After saying this to Shun Tu Longfu, Situ Mingyu walked out of the main hall. He was prepared to immediately find Mo Qingyun to seek revenge. Seeing Situ Mingyu's actions, Situ Qing stood up and blocked Situ Mingyu's path. He advised, "Alliance leader, they're important guests today. Stay here and entertain them. Let me deal with those people." "All right." Hearing Situ Qing's suggestion, Situ Mingyu nodded. His expression became slightly better. After persuading Situ Mingyu, Situ Qing walked out of the main hall and said to Situ Jun beside him, "Situ Jun, where is that brat? Bring me to him immediately. I want to see what kind of backing he has that allows him to be so arrogant in Craze Immortal City." "Yes, Uncle Qing." Hearing Situ Qing's order, Situ Jun's expression became joyful. He quickly followed behind Situ Qing. When he arrived beside Situ Qing, Situ Jun's expression became serious. He said in a deep voice, "Uncle Qing, that brat's subordinates are very strong. It's best if we bring more people to prevent ourselves from falling into a passive situation." Situ Jun was still very wary of Han Liu's strength. He knew that Situ Qing alone was not enough. "All right." Hearing Situ Jun's reminder, Situ Qing put away his contempt and immediately brought a few more people with him. After a while, under Situ Jun's lead, they arrived at the retaining Immortal Restaurant. "Brat, you're still here. You're really bold." Seeing that Mo Qingyun and the others were still there, Situ Jun revealed a proud smile and approached Mo Qingyun and the others. In his opinion, as long as Mo Qingyun did not leave, it would be easy to handle. He did not have to look for Mo Qingyun and the others. When he arrived in front of Mo Qingyun, Situ Jun narrowed his eyes with a sinister smile. He raised his head and said, "Brat, if I were you, I would leave immediately after injuring someone. I would not stay and wait for death." "I don't think so. I think that you guys can't do anything to me." Mo Qingyun raised his head and glanced at Situ Jun. He then looked at the people beside him. When he saw Situ Qing, the smile on his face became even wider. It was as if he had seen an old friend. "Mo Qingyun, it's actually you." After recognizing Mo Qingyun, Situ Qing was immediately shocked. His eyelids twitched rapidly. He did not expect to meet Mo Qingyun here after so many years. While Situ Qing was shocked, he also felt uneasy. He felt that Mo Qingyun did not come with good intentions. He felt that Mo Qingyun came to crazed immortal city this time to take revenge for what happened in the ancestral tomb of the sorcerer faction. After briefly sizing up Situ Qing, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and greeted, "Elder Situ Qing, we meet again. It has been so many years since we last met. How have you been?" "Uncle Qing, you know this brat?" When Situ Jun heard Mo Qingyun's words, he was puzzled. He turned to look at Situ Qing. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's current action was like greeting an old friend. If that was the case, he would have been beaten up for nothing. When he heard Situ Jun's question, Situ Qing knew that Situ Jun had misunderstood, and he explained. "This kid is Mo Qingyun, who fought a few tens of Saint Realm experts while the Nine Heavens' mysterious immortal realm in the Shaman clan's ancestral tomb all those years ago, and fought his way out of the encirclement in the end. It's him." After learning about Mo Qingyun's identity from Situ Qing, Situ Jun's face was filled with shock. This news was too unexpected for him. He had heard about Mo Qingyun in the past. He knew how monstrous Mo Qingyun was. Soon after, Situ Jun's gaze toward Mo Qingyun changed tremendously. Chapter 2343. Tell me, how should I repay you for your kindness in the past? After greeting Situ Qing, Mo Qingyun's expression gradually turned cold as he released the aura of a sage stage. Situ Qing was shocked when he sensed Mo Qingyun's aura. His eyes widened as he exclaimed, "Your cultivation has broken through to the sage stage?" This discovery really frightened him quite a bit, and his mood became even more flustered. When Mo Qingyun was just a Nine Heavens Xian immortal, he was already so difficult to deal with. Now that Mo Qingyun had broken through to the sage stage, wouldn't he be even more terrifying? With the current strength of the Madman League, would they be able to deal with Mo Qingyun? At that moment, Situ Qing's heart was filled with doubt. Although Situ Qing was worried, he did not show it on his face. Instead, he said in a deep voice, "Mo Qingyun, although we were at fault in the past, you have injured Situ Jun. How about we write off this debt?" "Uncle Qing." When Situ Jun heard Situ Qing's words, he was unwilling and wanted to persuade Situ Qing. However, before Situ Jun could say anything, he was stopped by Situ Qing's gaze. "What do you think?" Mo Qingyun chuckled when he heard Situ Qing's suggestion. His eyes were filled with sarcasm. He had come to the crazed immortal city this time to take revenge. How could he let it go so easily? When Situ Qing heard Mo Qingyun's reply, his heart sank. He realized that this matter could not be resolved peacefully. Situ Qing shouted, "Mo Qingyun, although your strength is not weak, and you have many tricks up your sleeve, you have to be clear that this is the crazed immortal city. This is not a place where you can behave atrociously." "So what if I behave atrociously?" Mo Qingyun's attitude was firm in the face of Situ Qing's reprimand. He shouted coldly, "I might as well tell you clearly that I came to the mad immortal city this time to settle the score from back then." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he did not want to say anything more. He immediately ordered ZK and the others, "ZK, take them all down and bring them to the headquarters of the Madman League." "Yes." Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, ZK and the others immediately responded and started to attack Situ Qing and the others. Seeing ZK in the crowd, Situ Qing was immediately stunned. His eyes widened as he exclaimed, "Sacred Ancestor ZK, why are you listening to that brat? He's a huge threat to the Dark Devil race. We can't let him live." "Elder Situ Qing, I've already submitted to Master." ZK had a cold expression as he replied to Situ Qing. He then said, "Since Master gave the order to capture all of you, I can only apologize." Master?" Hearing ZK's address, Situ Qing was so frightened that his body trembled. A chill ran down his spine. This news was too sudden and too terrible for him. He was very clear about how powerful ZK was. He was definitely not someone they could contend against. Now, that Mo Qingyun had ZK's help and came to take revenge on the Madman League. The Madman League was really done for. Just as Sidu Qing was panicking, ZK sent a palm strike towards him, exuding a monstrous aura. This aura seems to have surpassed the saint stage. Sensing the aura emitted by ZK, Situ Qing's pupils shrank as he gasped in his heart. He was certain that ZK's current strength had definitely surpassed the saint stage level. This was because ZK's strength was too powerful. It was completely different from the saint stage. When Situ Qing realized this, his face turned ashen as he gave up the thought of resisting. In front of ZK's formidable strength, his resistance was all superfluous and would not have any meaning. Bang, bang, bang. In just one exchange, Sidu Qing and the others were seriously injured and lost the ability to continue fighting. Seeing such a scene, Sidu Jun was immediately scared silly. His eyes widened as he stood rooted to the ground. This situation was far too different from what he had imagined. Seeing that Sidu Qing and the others were crippled, Mo Qingyun looked at Sidu Jun and walked closer to him bit by bit. Don't come over. What are you doing? Seeing Mo Qingyun approaching bit by bit, Sidu Jun was so scared that his body trembled and his face kept twitching. Mo Qingyun grinned as he gazed at Situ Jun, who was silent like a cicada in winter, and he said, I gave you a chance just now to get some help, but you only got a few people, so you can't blame me for what happens next. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he raised his hand and slammed it towards Sidu Jun, directly killing him. Take them to the Madman League headquarters. After killing Sidu Jun, Mo Qingyun walked out of Lucian Restaurant, ready to settle the score with the Madman League. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, ZK and the others immediately responded and took Sidu Qing and the others. The Madman League headquarters was very easy to recognize. When Mo Qingyun walked out of Lucian Restaurant, he clearly saw it. After a while, Mo Qingyun arrived at the Madman League headquarters and threw Sidu Qing and the others in. The bodies of Sidu Qing and the others were thrown into the Madman League headquarters, which immediately attracted the attention of the people in the headquarters. After a while, the news of Sidu Qing and the others being killed reached Situ Mingyu's ears. This is too much. This is too much. Looking at the miserable state of Sidu Qing and the others, Situ Mingyu shouted angrily and walked out of the main hall. Seeing Situ Mingyu's actions, Shinta Longfu stood up and immediately followed behind him. He said, Brother Mingyu, since we're already allies, we can't just stand by and watch. We'll go with you to take a look. Thank you. Situ Mingyu expressed his gratitude towards Shinta Longfu's actions and rushed out of the residence. After a while, everyone arrived outside the residence and saw Mo Qingyun and the others in front of the residence. It's him. Seeing Mo Qingyun standing in front of the residence, Shindo Erzhan, who was beside Shindo Longfu, immediately showed a shocked expression. Seeing Shinto Urshan's reaction, Shinto Longfu and the others were puzzled. They all turned to look at him and asked, Elder Erzhan, you know them? Who are they? Hall Master, that kid is Mo Qingyun, the person I mentioned to you back then. Under Shinto Longfu's questioning, Shinda Erzhan had a tense expression as he briefly introduced Mo Qingyun to everyone. When he saw ZK beside him, his expression became even more shocked. He exclaimed, Divine Ancestor ZK? Why is he here with Mo Qingyun? Could it be that Mo Qingyun has also submitted to the Dark Demon tribe? Of course, Shinda Erzhan wouldn't have thought that ZK would submit to Mo Qingyun. To him, this was too ridiculous. After learning about Mo Qingyun's identity from Shinto Erzhan, Situ Mingyu and the others tensed up. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun's motive for coming to the Maniac Immortal City this time was very obvious. Chapter 2344. So the people from the Immortal Slaying Hall are also here. That's good. It saves me some trouble. Seeing Shinta Erzhan in the crowd, Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with surprise as he recognized the people from the Immortal Slaying Hall. Originally, meeting the people from the Madman League in the Maniac Immortal City was already a surprise to him. Unexpectedly, the people from the Immortal Slaying Hall were also here. This was really an unexpected gain. This way, he could kill two birds with one stone and get rid of the Immortal Slaying Hall and the Madman League. Kid, don't talk nonsense. Now that our two major forces have joined forces, the outcome is still uncertain. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Shinta Longfu's face turned cold as he spoke angrily. In his eyes, although Mo Qingyun was a genius, he was still unable to look down on them. As soon as Shinta Longfu finished speaking, Shinta Urshan's expression tensed up. He whispered into Shinta Longfu's ear, "Hall Master, the old man beside Mo Qingyun is the Dark Demon race's sacred ancestor Quebec. I'm afraid we're not his match." What? The Dark Devil race's divine ancestor ZK is also here? Shinta Longfu's face was filled with surprise as he couldn't help but take a few more glances at Quebec. He was very surprised by this news. Although he didn't know ZK, he had heard of ZK's reputation. He didn't expect ZK, the Dark Devil race's divine ancestor, to be with Mo Qingyun. One had to know that Mo Qingyun was the Dark Devil race's greatest threat and the #1 target of the Dark Devil race. This situation was a little abnormal. After knowing ZK's identity, Shinta Longfu's face was filled with confusion as he questioned ZK. ZK, as the Dark Devil race's divine ancestor, why are you with this kid? Could it be that you want to betray the Dark Devil race? I'm no longer the Dark Devil race's divine ancestor. The current me is just an old servant by Master's side. In response to Shinta Longfu's question, ZK's face was calm as he replied faintly. Hearing ZK's answer, the people from the Immortal Slaying Hall and the Madman League were shocked and looked at each other. With ZK's status, he was actually willing to acknowledge Mo Qingyun as his master. This was too surprising. After a brief moment of shock, Situ Mingyu's expression changed as he said, "Mo Qingyun, you dare to come to my Madman League to seek revenge. So it turns out that you have ZK's help. However, although ZK is strong, he can't deal with all of us alone." As Situ Mingyu spoke, he gave Shintu Longfu a look, hinting for the latter to send out a distress signal. Under Situ Mingyu's signal, Shintu Longfu took out a black lotus and threw it into the sky. Not good, he sent out a distress signal. Seeing Shintu Longfu's actions, ZK frowned and immediately understood his intentions. Seeing ZK's nervous reaction, Situ Mingyu showed a proud expression and said, "The Black Flame Holy Sun is nearby. He received our request for help and will immediately rush over with his men. It's too late for you to leave now. Why should we leave? Besides, what can ZK Yin do even if he comes?" Mo Qingyun shrugged in disdain. He felt that Situ Mingyu's way of thinking was laughable. He retorted and said, "Also, do you think that with the strength of your group, you can last until Shuyin and the others arrive? Attack!" After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he waved at ZK and the others and took the lead to charge towards Situ Mingyu and the others. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order to attack, ZK and the others immediately activated the Saint Power Star cluster and followed behind Mo Qingyun. What a powerful aura. How can their aura be so strong? ZK's cultivation has already broken through to the Saint stage. Since the Desolate Continent's ancient times, no one has ever reached the Saint stage. How can ZK do it? Sensing the aura of ZK and the others, Shintu Longfu and the others were shocked and puzzled. The current performance of Mo Qingyun and the others had already broken their perception and made it difficult for them to accept. Run. After discovering the difference in strength between the two sides, Shintu Longfu and the others did not fight to the death. They immediately turned around and prepared to flee. Seeing that Shintu Longfu and the others were about to leave, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and blocked their path. Fire of civilization, demonic stars, splitting palm. After blocking the path of Shintu Longfu and the others, Mo Qingyun did not waste any time talking nonsense with them and directly blasted a palm at them. A huge flaming palm shadow blasted out from Mo Qingyun's hand and crushed down on Shun Tu Longfu and the others. He's only at the beginner saint stage. How can the power of his palm be stronger than my full-powered attack? Seeing the power of Mo Qingyun's palm, Situ Mingyu's eyes narrowed and filled with confusion. At this moment, he finally understood how monstrous Mo Qingyun was. After knowing how monstrous and powerful Mo Qingyun was, Situ Mingyu immediately stopped underestimating him and reminded everyone, don't hold back. Attack with all your strength with me and resist Mo Qingyun's palm. Hearing Shun Tu Longfu's reminder, the people from the Madman League and the Immortal Slaying Hall all attacked the flaming palm. In an instant, palm shadows, saber rays, sword rays, and other attacks bombarded the flaming palm like a storm. Bang, bang, bang. When the palm shadows, saber rays, sword rays, and other attacks landed on the flaming palm, a series of loud bangs were heard. As the bangs were heard, the palm shadows, saber rays, and sword rays were all defeated by the flaming palm in the blink of an eye. How? How can this be? It's only been a few years. How did he become so strong? This kid has grown too fast. Back then, his own strength was not particularly terrifying. He's already so terrifying with his own strength. If he borrows external help, it'll be even more terrifying. It seems that we've underestimated him. His wings are already full. Seeing the power of Mo Qingyun's palm, some people who had crossed swords with him all showed expressions of despair. While Shinto Erzhan and the others were panicking, the flaming palm landed on them and sent them flying. Puffed. After being hit by the flaming palm shadows, Shinto Erzhan and the others spat out blood and fell to the ground in a sorry state. When Shinto Erzhan was sent flying, several figures quickly approached. The one in the lead was a red-haired youth with a cold expression. Seeing the arrival of these people, Shinto Longfu and the others were overjoyed and excited. Zishuian had brought the Dark Demon Race's experts. They were saved now. They came pretty quickly. Seeing Zishuian and the others arrive, Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly and a hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. Although he was a little surprised, Mo Qingyun did not mind. It was good that Zishuian and the others had taken the initiative to come. It saved him the trouble of looking for them. Mo Qingyun retracted his gaze and waved at ZK and the others. He shouted, "Deal with them first, then deal with the Dark Demon Race." Chapter 2345. Holy Sun Xian, save us. Shinto Longfu immediately cried for help when he saw Zishuian and the others arrive. Zishuian revealed a cold and arrogant expression when he heard their cries for help. He shouted, "Stop! They have already submitted to me. No one can harm them." As Zishuian spoke, he displayed the attitude of a king, as if he was an emperor overlooking all living things. Unfortunately, Han Liu and the others ignored his orders and reprimands. In the eyes of Han Liu and the others, they did not care who Zishuian was. They only listened to Mo Qingyun. Subsequently, Shinto Longfu and the others were all killed by Han Liu and the others before Zishuian's eyes. "You dare to ignore my orders." Zishuian's face was as black as ink when he saw Shinto Longfu and the others killed. A chilling aura emanated from his body. Although he did not particularly care about the life and death of Shinto Longfu and the others, this made him feel ashamed. Mo Qingyun glanced at Zishuian indifferently in response to his question. He then revealed an expression of disdain and said, "You are truly very funny. Are we very familiar with you? Why should we listen to your orders?" Mo Qingyun's evaluation of Zishuian immediately fell when he saw Zishuian's performance. In comparison, Zishuian was clearly too domineering. He was far from being as cunning and deep as Zi and Xiao. However, Mo Qingyun did not underestimate Zishuian. There should be a reason why ZK had such a high evaluation of him. Mo Qingyun, Don't think that you can contend against me just because ZK is protecting you. After bickering with Mo Qingyun for a while, Zi Shuyan's expression became a little colder. He continued, I might as well tell you clearly that even if there were 5 ZKs in front of me, they would still not be a match for me. Today, I will kill you in order to end the worries of my clan. After Zi Xingyan finished speaking, his figure flashed, and he immediately charged towards Mo Qingyun. ZK's face darkened when he saw Zi Xingyan's action. He immediately went forward and cried out, Zi Xingyan, quickly stop. You're not allowed to be rude to Master. Otherwise, don't blame this old man for being impolite to you and ignoring our relationship as fellow clansmen. With Mo Qingyun's help, he had broken through to the Nebula Realm and found a new cultivation path. ZK's attitude towards Mo Qingyun became even more submissive, and he no longer had the slightest doubt. In his opinion, if he continued to follow Mo Qingyun, the Dark Devil race would definitely prosper. ZK, since you insist on degenerating yourself, don't blame me for being impolite. When he saw ZK stop him, Zidian's gaze immediately turned gloomy and cold. He shouted, Today I will carry out the rules of the clan and kill you, traitor. As Zi Shuyan's words left his mouth, the aura he released immediately became even sharper. From the looks of it, his killing intent had been aroused, and he really wanted to kill ZK here. A terrifying bloody aura erupted from Zi Shuyan's body and enveloped him. Based on the fluctuation of the bloody aura that Zi Shuyan used was even denser and more berserk than Zi Yunxiao's. Zi Shuyan has planted more bloodlines than Zi Yunxiao, and they are stronger. However, their auras are also more chaotic. When he sensed the bloody aura on Zi Shuyan's body, Mo Qingyun frowned and immediately discovered the problem. Although Zi Shuyan had planted more bloodlines, it was precisely because of this that the hidden dangers in his body were greater. Faced with Zi Shuyan's attack, ZK no longer dared to hold back and immediately displayed his full strength. Then, the intensity of the aura that ZK emitted immediately increased by several times. Nebula Realm. You actually broke through to the Nebula Realm. Zi Shuyan was shocked when he sensed the fluctuation of ZK's aura. He was very surprised by this situation. Although he had planted many bloodlines and allowed his strength to soar, his cultivation was only at the quasi-nebula realm. Although the quasi-nebula realm was only half a step away from the nebula realm, this half step was extremely difficult to cross. While Zi Shuyan was shocked by ZK's cultivation, what shocked him even more was that there were no more bloodline fluctuations in ZK's body. You abandoned all your bloodlines? Zi Shuyan's eyes widened when he discovered ZK's situation. You abandoned your bloodline power, yet your cultivation was still able to break through to the nebula realm? This situation shocked Zi Shuyan quite a bit. He found it hard to believe. The Dark Demon race had always relied on planting powerful bloodlines to increase their strength and talent. Now that ZK had abandoned his bloodlines, his strength and cultivation had increased instead of decreasing. This was really too strange. Zi Shuyan had to admit that ZK's current performance had shattered his view of cultivation. This is all thanks to Master's guidance. It allowed me to break through and stand up again. I understood that my previous cultivation was wrong. ZK explained simply when he saw Zi Shuyan's shocked reaction. Then, he tried to persuade Zi Shuyan, I watched you grow up. You are a smart person. I hope that you can come to your senses and follow Master from now on. You want me to submit to him? Dream on. Zi Shuyan rejected ZK's persuasion. His attacks became even more ruthless as he shouted, ZK, even if you broke through to the nebula realm, you don't have the support of your bloodline power. You can't display any battle strength. You are still no match for me. You are wrong. ZK shook his head in disappointment when he heard Zi Shuyan's words. He didn't continue to persuade Zi Shuyan. Immediately after that, ZK's attack became much fiercer, and he immediately crushed Zi Shuyan. Zishuyan was even more shocked when he was forced into a passive position by ZK's attacks. Zishuyan asked in confusion, How? How can this be? You don't have your bloodline power. How can you become even stronger? What's so strange about this? Can't the immortal race contend against the god race without their bloodline power? ZK calmly replied to Zishuyan's shock and confusion. Then he said, Zishuyan, I will persuade you again. The sea of bitterness is boundless. If you submit to Master now, I can plead with him on your behalf. Impossible. Zishuyan's expression was gloomy as he directly rejected ZK's suggestion. With a crazed expression, he shouted, ZK, although I am very surprised that your strength has increased, you can't stop me if I want to leave. After Zishuyan finished speaking, he didn't want to continue arguing with Quebec. He prepared to leave this place first. You want to leave? Have you asked me for permission? When he saw that Zishuyan was about to leave, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up. He immediately blocked his path. Zishuyan clenched his fists tightly when he saw Mo Qingyun blocking his path. He had a furious expression on his face as he shouted, Even ZK, who has a nebula realm cultivation, couldn't stop me. You, who are only at the initial stage of the Sage Realm, want to block my path? As soon as Zishuyan finished speaking, he brandished his fist and blasted it at Mo Qingyun. Chapter 2346. Don't be overconfident. It's not up to you to say whether or not I can stop you. Mo Qingyun replied to Zishuyan's disdain. He continued, Don't say that I didn't give you a chance. If you can defeat me, I'll let all of you leave. Zishuyan's expression turned ugly when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He seemed to have been greatly humiliated. Although he was furious, Zishuyan did not show it and rejected Mo Qingyun's suggestion. No matter what, this was their only hope of escaping. It would be unwise to give it up. Boy, I hope you can keep your promise. Don't go back on your words later. Zishuyan forcefully suppressed the anger in his heart. His expression was gloomy as he warned Mo Qingyun. Don't worry, I always keep my word. Mo Qingyun assured Zishuyan of his worries. He then looked at ZK and the others and said, I want to fight him alone. Don't interfere. Just watch the others and don't let them interfere. Yes. ZK and the others nodded and obeyed Mo Qingyun's order. The Dark Demon Clan's people immediately smiled disdainfully when they saw Mo Qingyun's action. This boy wants to fight the Black Flame, Holy Sun. He's too arrogant. With his initial Saint Realm cultivation, if he can take 10 moves from the Black Flame, Holy Sun, it'll be my loss. 10 moves? You think too highly of him. I don't think he can even take 3 moves. The Dark Demon Clan's experts all smiled mockingly when they saw Mo Qingyun's action. Under the gazes of everyone, Zishuyan grinned and said complacently, Kid, you asked for it. Don't blame me for not giving you any face when you're slapped to death by me later. 10,000 flame, world-burning palm. As Zishuyan spoke, his hands bent into claws. He clasped them in front of him, and a terrifying Saint Chi gathered in the middle. Streams of fire flew out from Zishuyan's palms and revolved around his body. Huh! Zishuyan shouted loudly and waved his palm towards Mo Qingyun, blasting out a series of palm shadows with oppressive auras. These palm shadows blasted out like flaming meteorites, smashing towards Mo Qingyun. Then a 1,000-meter radius around Mo Qingyun was covered by a flaming meteor shower. Using a fire god art against me. It seems you don't understand me at all. Mo Qingyun curled his lips at the sight of the flaming palms that filled the sky. A mocking look appeared in his eyes. He was protected by the fire of civilization, so no fire divine ability could do much damage to him. When they saw the might of Zishuyan's palm strike, the Dark Demon Clan's experts immediately revealed complacent cold smiles. The Holy Son of Black Flame is really good. He actually used the 10,000 flames world-burning palm. It seems like he wants to kill that brat instantly. That brat was killed by Holy Sun Tanyan. He only has himself to blame. This is the price of his arrogance. If you agree to a bet, you must accept your loss. Holy Sun Tanyan, if you kill that kid, we can also leave. Why not? When they saw Zi Shuiyan's attack, the Dark Demon Clan's experts were all delighted and spoke with fervor. Under the gaze of the Dark Demon Clan's experts, Mo Qingyun quickly moved his hands and activated the 200 Saint Power Star clusters in his body. Under Mo Qingyun's activation, the Saint Power Star cluster immediately erupted with a terrifying flame that emitted a scorching heat wave. What a powerful flame power! Zi Shuiyan's expression immediately changed when he sensed the aura of the sun's flames. His eyes widened as he said, "Just the power of the flames in his saint force is already so powerful. Just how powerful would he be if he used his ability?" When Zi Shuiyan thought of this, he stopped underestimating Mo Qingyun and no longer dared to look down on him. Demonic Star Splitting Palm. Under Zi Shuiyan's shocked gaze, Mo Qingyun flipped his right palm, and the power of flame wildly gathered on his palm. In a short moment, a huge flaming palm shadow blasted out from Mo Qingyun's palm. Boom, boom, boom. The huge flaming palm left Mo Qingyun's hand and charged towards the flaming palm shadows, blocking all of them. Following this, a vacuum area with a diameter of 100 meters above Mo Qingyun's had appeared. After destroying all the palm shadows in the sky, Missouri Qingyun's figure moved and easily neutralized Zi Shuiyan's attack. After dodging Zi Shuiyan's attack, Mo Qingyun looked down at Zi Shuiyan from above and said, "Zi Shuiyan, if this is all you have, you won't be able to leave today." "Humph, that was just a warm-up. I won't hold back anymore." Zi Shuiyan snorted coldly in response to Mo Qingyun's provocation. His expression clearly tensed up. From the exchange of blows earlier, he could already tell that Mo Qingyun's combat strength was not weaker than his. Dragon Source Overlord Body. Holy Glory Divine Ability Ignite. Just as fear rose in Zi Shuiyan's heart, Mo Qingyun arrived in front of him and took the initiative to launch an attack. As Mo Qingyun approached, Zi Shuiyan discovered that he had fallen into two domains. At the same time, a wave of flame energy and a wave of lightning energy also affected his body. Zi Shuiyan's expression immediately panicked when he was attacked by two domains. His eyes were filled with shock. How is this possible? The feeling this brat gives me is actually the same as the feeling Zi Qingrong gives me. This discovery frightened Zi Shuiyan quite a bit. The way he looked at Mo Qingyun changed drastically. If his intuition was right, then Mo Qingyun was too terrifying. He might be even more monstrous than Zi Qingrong. After all, Zi Qingrong was already at the quasi-nebulous stage, while Mo Qingyun was only at the initial stage of the Saint stage. Saint Demon's Star Shattering Fist. While Zi Shuiyan was still in shock, Mo Qingyun waved his fists again and attacked him. Fist shadows flashed and flames collapsed. Under Mo Qingyun's powerful attack, Zi Shuiyan immediately fell into a passive position. He was in a perilous situation. Upon seeing this scene, the expressions of the Dark Demon Clan's powerhouses at the side were all stunned. This situation was far too different from what they had imagined. The Black Flame Holy Sun situation seems to be a little bad. How can this be? How can this brat be so powerful? Oh no, we've all underestimated him. This brat is pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. What should we do? If the Black Flame Holy Sun loses, we'll all die here. When they thought about their own situation, the Dark Demon Clan's powerhouses were terrified. Their expressions were tense. The current situation could be said to be a tragedy after extreme joy. It's time to end this. Under Zi Shuiyan's fearful gaze, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a faint smile. Two rays of light shot out from his eyes. Yin-yang dual pupils. The two rays of light shot out and disappeared into Zi Shuiyan's head in a flash. After being attacked by Mo Qingyun's gaze, Zi Shuiyan was immediately sent flying. He spat out a large mouthful of blood. Chapter 23:47. Seeing Zi Shuiyin being sent flying, the dark demons were all stunned. All of their faces paled. Zi Shuiyin was defeated by Mo Qingyan. Didn't this mean that they would all die here today? This result was not what they wanted. After sending Zi Shuiyin flying with one palm strike, Mo Qingyan did not stop attacking. His figure flashed, and he stood above Zi Shuiyin. He said, "Zi Shuiyin, since you've already lost, then don't blame me for being ruthless." Rising Dragon Heaven Saber. Mo Qingyun clenched his fist, and Tiger Soul appeared in his hand. Then, he chopped down at Zi Shuiyin. Under Mo Qingyun's swing, Tiger Soul immediately blasted out a golden dragon saber light that carried a horrifying deterrent force. 1. Under the attack of the golden dragon saber light, Zi Shuiyin suddenly felt dizzy, and his consciousness briefly fainted. As Zi Shuiyin's consciousness fainted, he missed the best opportunity to defend against the golden dragon saber light. What a powerful magic skill. It can actually affect my consciousness. After recovering from his fainting state, Zi Shuiyin opened his eyes wide. His face was filled with panic. While Zi Shuiyin panicked, he did not dare to hesitate at all. He immediately attacked to defend against the golden dragon saber light. However, Zi Shuiyin hastily attacked and could not block the golden dragon saber light. Pooh! After being struck by the golden dragon saber light, Zi Shuiyin was sent flying again, vomiting blood. When Zi Shuiyin was sent flying, intense fear appeared in his eyes as he looked at Mo Qingyun. He exclaimed, "This brat is too strong. I'm not his match at all. I have to leave this place immediately." With this thought, Zi Shuiyin came to a decision. He was not willing to continue fighting. 10,000 blood-returning escape. Zi Shuiyin's body suddenly exploded, turning into a purple-black bloody mist. Beams of scarlet light flew out from it. These blood-red streamers flew out and headed in different directions at extremely fast speed. Abandoning his physical body and using an escape technique to escape. This fellow is quite decisive. Mo Qingyun was stunned when he saw Zi Shuiyin's actions. A trace of shock flashed in his eyes as he said, "This fellow has abandoned his physical body and executed a fleeing secret technique. He will definitely pay an extremely great price. There is no need to worry about him from now on." Mo Qingyun murmured to himself. He ignored Zi Haoyin and looked at the people from the Dark Demon clan. He said, "Since Zi Haoyin has used a secret technique to escape, it means that he has lost the bet with me. You can all be at ease and accept your punishment. Don't kill me. We are willing to submit to you. Sacred Ancestor ZK, please spare our lives. We are willing to follow you. Uncle ZK, could it be that you really have the heart to watch us get killed?" Seeing that Mo Qingyun wanted to deal with them, the experts of the Dark Demon race all revealed panicked expressions. Hearing those people's pleas, ZK revealed a hesitant expression and unconsciously looked at Mo Qingyun. It could be seen that he still could not bear to kill his own kind. Seeing ZK's expression, Mo Qingyun guessed his thoughts and said, "ZK, I'll leave them to you to deal with. I hope you can handle them appropriately." "Thank you, Master." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, ZK's expression immediately lit up, and he hurriedly thanked Mo Qingyun. Following which, ZK planted a soul brand in these people's seas of consciousness. Seeing ZK's actions, Mo Qingyun nodded his head in satisfaction. ZK's actions were not bad. These people were not weak. With their help, they would be a force to be reckoned with. When the time came for them to head to the Dark Demon race, they would also be able to contribute some combat power and share some of the pressure on ZK and the others. Not long after ZK had subdued these people, Han Leo and the others returned. They took out a storage ring and handed it to Mo Qingyun. "Master, everything from the Madman League's secret vault is inside." Mo Qingyun took the storage ring from Han Leo and nodded his head indifferently. "Since everything has been taken care of, let's return to the Lu Xian restaurant to rest." Mo Qingyun left these words behind and walked towards the Lu Xian restaurant, intending to stay for the night before continuing on their journey. A day's time passed very quickly. Early the next morning, Mo Qingyun led everyone and rushed towards the Dark Demon race's main clan. Nothing unforeseen happened during the rest of the journey, and they proceeded smoothly. A few days later, with ZK and the others leading the way, everyone arrived in front of a bottomless abyss. Master, this is the entrance to my race. Standing on top of a cliff, ZK had a grave expression as he pointed at the bottomless abyss in front of him. Looking at the place where ZK was pointing, Mo Qingyun's expression froze. His face was filled with surprise. This entrance was a bit like the entrance to the Star River Path in the Devil Prison Mountain. I'm afraid no one would have thought that the Dark Demon race's hiding place would not be in the Wild Continent. If it were not for ZK and the others leading the way, Mo Qingyun was certain that he would not have been able to find it. At this moment, Mo Qingyun finally understood why the Dark Demon race could not be found by other forces when they hid. Sizing up the abyss in front of him, Mo Qingyun nodded to ZK and said, "Continue leading the way." Hearing Mo Qingyun's command, ZK did not hesitate and directly jumped into the bottomless abyss. Seeing ZK's action, Mo Qingyun and the others followed, and all jumped into the abyss. What a powerful space power! Mo Qingyun jumped into the abyss and flew down for a while. He felt a mysterious power. After this space power appeared, Mo Qingyun was pulled down and continued to fly down the abyss. At the same time, the scene in front of Mo Qingyun began to change dramatically. After a while, Mo Qingyun found that they had arrived at a sparsely populated mountain peak. Standing on a mountain peak, Mo Qingyun looked around and showed a surprised expression. This seems to be another continent. Although it is not as big as the Wild Continent, it should be the size of the deserted world. Swoosh! Swoosh! While Mo Qingyun was sizing up his surroundings, several figures quickly approached them and surrounded them. Greetings to Saint Ancestor ZK, Ancestor Chun Rao. After these people arrived, they saw ZK and the others and immediately bowed respectfully. Seeing the actions of the people around him, ZK waved his hand indifferently and said, "There's nothing for you to do here. All of you can leave." Yes. Hearing ZK's order, everyone immediately left and continued to monitor the place. After letting everyone leave, ZK walked forward and said, "Master, follow me. I'll bring everyone to rest first." Okay. Mo Qingyun did not object to ZK's suggestion and nodded in agreement. Chapter 2348. A few hours later, with ZK leading the way, Mo Qingyun and the others arrived at a small city. "Master, the Heaven Gate divine residence in front is where my family is located." After entering the small city, ZK led everyone to an ancient residence. Noticing the arrival of Mo Qingyun and the others, the guards at the door shouted with an arrogant attitude, "Who are you people? What is your relationship with the Heaven Gate divine residence?" Seeing the guards' actions, Mo Qingyun was stunned and couldn't help but look at Quebec. According to ZK, the Heaven Gate divine residence was created by him, so there should be no one who didn't recognize him. It was strange that the guards at the door couldn't recognize him. Impudent! ZK shouted angrily when he saw the guards' actions. His face was filled with anger. He brought Mo Qingyun and the others back, but they were stopped by the guards. He couldn't tolerate this. "Get Z Shaoshan out to see me." ZK's face darkened, and he released some of his aura to suppress the guards. Under the pressure of ZK's aura, the guards were frightened and immediately ran into the residence. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun and the others weren't in a hurry. They stood outside the residence with indifferent expressions. Before long, a young man with a proud and aloof expression arrived before Mo Qingyun and the others under the lead of a few servants. "Zi Shui Miao, why are you in the Heaven Gate divine residence?" Seeing the middle-aged man in front of the crowd, ZK recognized him. His expression was filled with coldness. He had a feeling that the arrival of the young man before him wasn't a good thing. Hearing ZK's surprised words, Zi Shui Miao smiled coldly and said, Saint Ancestor ZK, you're finally back. I've been waiting for you for a long time. You've been waiting for me here? ZK's eyes narrowed when he heard Zi Shui Miao's words. His gaze turned cold as he said, unhappily, speak. Why are you looking for me? He could hear that Zi Shui Miao's words carried a strong sense of hostility. Under ZK's cold questioning, Zi Shui Miao's smile grew even wider. He said, I've come to tell you that I've imprisoned all your direct descendants. If you want to save them, then capture Mo Qingyun as soon as possible. Hearing Zi Shui Miao's words, ZK's face immediately darkened and he clenched his fists tightly. Zi Shui Miao was really ruthless. Zi Shui Miao, release my clansmen immediately. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. ZK's face darkened in response to Zi Shui Miao's threat. He ordered Zi Shui Miao. Zi Shui Miao did not care about ZK's angry threats in the slightest. He said indifferently, Sacred Ancestor ZK, I advise you to calm down. It's best if you don't make a move against me. Before I came here, I left behind a soul jade slip. If my soul jade slip breaks, their subordinates will kill your clansmen. Hearing Zi Shui Miao's words, ZK was immediately enraged, and his face became dark like ink. Soon after, ZK looked at Mo Qingyun with an inquiring gaze. Seeing ZK look at him, Mo Qingyun walked out from the crowd and stood in front of Zi Shui Miao. He smiled and said, You want to capture me? You? Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Zi Shui Miao's expression froze. He could not help but take a few more glances at Mo Qingyun. For a moment, he did not immediately understand Mo Qingyun's words. After being momentarily stunned, Zi Shui Miao revealed a look of understanding. He knew Mo Qingyun's identity and sneered, So you're Mo Qingyun. When I heard that ZK submitted to you, I didn't believe it. I didn't expect it to be true. After knowing Mo Qingyun's identity, Zi Shui Miao looked at ZK and ordered, Saint Ancestor ZK, Mo Qingyun is here now. Hurry up and capture him. Are you really going to disregard the lives of your clan's juniors? ZK did not respond to Zi Shui Miao's threat. He stood calmly behind Mo Qingyun. Seeing Zi Shui Miao's actions, Mo Qingyun shook his head mockingly and said coldly, Although I don't know your identity, you're far too lacking compared to Zi Yunxiao, Zi Shuiyan, and the others. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he extended his palm and pressed down on Zi Shui Miao. You? What are you trying to do? Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Zi Shui Miao panicked. He begged the people behind him for help. Hurry up and stop him. Don't let him hurt me. Yes, young Master Shui Miao. Everyone immediately nodded when they heard Zi Shui Miao's orders. They all began to move against Mo Qingyun. Just as everyone was about to attack, ZK snorted coldly and sent Zi Shui Miao's subordinate flying with a palm strike. Faced with Mo Qingyun's attack, Zi Shui Miao was like a kitten. He was directly captured by Mo Qingyun and brought before him. A faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's lips as he looked at Zi Shui Miao, who had been captured. He said, Based on what you said just now, it seems that as long as your soul remains, your subordinates won't kill anyone. Zi Shui Miao was immediately at a loss for words under Mo Qingyun's questioning. He realized that he had misspoken. Mo Qingyun's smile deepened when he saw Zi Shui Miao's reaction. The mockery in his eyes became even greater as well. He said, Don't worry, I won't kill you before I save ZK's juniors. However, it'll be a little hard to say once I save his juniors. Demonic soul stealing. A terrifying soul force blasted out from Mo Qingyun's eyes, turning into a huge eyeball. Once this huge eyeball formed, it released a devouring force and blasted towards Zi Shui Miao's sea of consciousness. Following that, Zi Shui Miao's soul was pulled out. He looked at Mo Qingyun with a terrified expression. Zi Shui Miao's soul had just left his body when he started screaming miserably, his face revealing a pained expression. At the same time, All the memories in Zi Shuimiao's mind were forcefully stripped by Mo Qingyun. After a short while, Mo Qingyun opened his eyes, his face revealing a look of understanding. He already knew the place where ZK's juniors were imprisoned. Furthermore, the guard were not strong. You? What did you do to me? Zi Shuimiao regained consciousness. He revealed a panicked expression, looking at Mo Qingyun with a terrified gaze. Towards Zi Shuimiao's questioning, Mo Qingyun did not pay attention to it and directly put away his soul. I already know the place where your juniors are imprisoned. They aren't in any danger. Putting away Zi Shuimiao's soul, Mo Qingyun consoled ZK and continued. As for these people, finish them all off so that they don't leak the news. Okay. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, ZK immediately nodded and made a move on Zi Shuimiao's followers. Before long, Zi Shuimiao's subordinates were all killed by Zi Quebec. Chapter 2349. Mo Qingyun and the rest enter the residence. Some of the branch clan members in the residence came before Zi Quebec. When these branch clan members saw that ZK had returned, they immediately revealed joyful smiles. Divine Ancestor, you're back. That's great. Zi Shuimiao captured the patriarchs and the rest. Please save them and bring them back. Divine Ancestor must be tired from the journey. Let him rest for a while first before discussing the matter of saving the patriarchs. Everyone came to ZK's side and talked at the same time. Following that, under the crowd support, Mo Qingyun and the rest entered the assembly hall. ZK, who is that Zi Shuimiao? Seems like he has some status. Sitting down in the assembly hall, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression and inquired about Zi Shuimiao's origins. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, ZK revealed a disdainful expression and said, Replying Master, Zi Shuimiao is Zi Shuiyin's younger brother. He has always relied on Zi Shuiyin's identity to act tyrannically and cause trouble in the clan. To think that he actually dared to capture my clansmen this time. So he's Zi Shuiyin's younger brother. Knowing Zi Shuimiao's identity, Mo Qingyun nodded in understanding and said, if he knew that Zi Xin abandoned his physical body to escape and that his talent was not as good as before, he would probably restrain himself a little. Of course, regarding all of this, Zi Shuimiao did not have the chance to see it. After discussing Zi Shuimiao for a while, Mo Qingyun started to change the topic and explained to ZK, from Zi Shuimiao's memories, I learned where your clansmen were imprisoned. They were imprisoned in a place called the Dark Spirit Abyss. Dark Spirit Abyss. Knowing where his clansmen were imprisoned, ZK's expression was immediately shocked and his face darkened. Seeing ZK's reaction, Mo Qingyun revealed a surprised expression and became curious about the Dark Spirit Abyss. Judging from ZK's reaction, this Dark Spirit Abyss did not seem to be simple. Thinking so, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression and asked ZK, ZK, tell me the situation of the Dark Spirit Abyss in detail. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, ZK nodded solemnly and said, the Dark Spirit Abyss is a very dangerous place in the Dark Mainland. Even if a Saint Realm expert enters, he or she will most likely die. However, although the Dark Spirit Abyss is very dangerous, there are also many powerful treasures. Oh, under ZK's narration, Mo Qingyun's curiosity towards the Dark Spirit Realm Abyss immediately became even stronger. Under Mo Qingyun's expectant gaze, ZK continued, my clan has sent many experts into the Dark Spirit Abyss to explore. They have obtained some powerful divine weapons, the strongest of which is close to the galaxy level. Quasi-galaxy class divine weapon. Mo Qingyun's expression changed when he heard ZK's words. He was shocked by this news. It would appear that he had underestimated the strength of the Dark Demon race. If an ordinary Saint Realm expert had a quasi-galaxy class divine weapon, he or she would be able to contend with a Nebula Realm expert. If the Dark Demon race had a Nebula Realm expert with a quasi-galaxy class divine weapon, Mo Qingyun would not have the confidence to deal with him. In addition, what other gains did the Dark Demon race obtain in the Dark Spirit Abyss? Mo Qingyun revealed a nervous expression and continued to ask Quebec. This was very important to him. This might be related to the situation of his confrontation with the Dark Demon race. Under Mo Qingyun's inquiry, ZK revealed a regretful expression and said, "Because the Dark Spirit Abyss is too dangerous. Although we obtained some treasures, the price our clan paid was too high. After entering a few times, we did not explore it again. We are prepared to slowly explore it in the future." That's good. Hearing ZK's words, Mo Qingyun's hanging heart was slightly relieved. It seemed that the situation was not too bad and would not make him too passive. While Mo Qingyun and the others were talking, a branch elder walked into the main hall and asked, "Divine Ancestor, the banquet is ready. Should I send it up now?" "Send it up." Hearing the branch elder's request, ZK nodded to him. Following that, sumptuous dishes and wine were served to Mo Qingyun and the others. When the dishes were served, Mo Qingyun and the others ate and chatted, inquiring about the current situation of the Dark Demon race. After drinking and eating to their heart's content, ZK arranged accommodations for everyone and they returned to their rooms to rest. The night was silent. Early the next morning, Mo Qingyun gathered everyone and prepared to set off for the Dark Spirit Abyss. Firstly, he wanted to help ZK save the clan members. Secondly, he wanted to take a look at the Dark Spirit Abyss. Mo Qingyun felt that the Dark Spirit Abyss might be a great opportunity for him. He was not sure when the Heavenly Dipper Dragon Rock clan's people would arrive. Hence, he must increase his strength as soon as possible. If he had already broken through to the Nebula Realm when the Heavenly Dipper Dragon Rock clan's people arrived, he could also have more confidence. "Many thanks, Master." Knowing that Mo Qingyun was going to the Dark Spirit Abyss, ZK revealed a pleasant surprise on his horse and hurriedly thanked Mo Qingyun. In his view, Mo Qingyun rushing to the Dark Spirit Abyss should be to help him save the clan members. Following that, ZK led everyone and rushed toward the Dark Spirit Abyss. The Dark Spirit Abyss was quite a distance away from the Heavenly Gate Divine Mansion. Everyone rushed for 5 days before arriving. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that when they arrived at the Dark Spirit Abyss, they discovered that a group of people was currently rushing over. ZK, he actually exited seclusion. Looking at the group of people slowly approaching, ZK's expression shook, his gaze locking onto the person at the front. Seeing ZK's reaction, Mo Qingyun revealed a look of curiosity. ZK seemed to be a little afraid of that person. Shortly after, Mo Qingyun released his soul power and sensed ZK's aura. Nebula Realm. Sensing ZK's aura fluctuation, Mo Qingyun revealed a surprised expression and immediately looked at ZK seriously. No wonder ZK was a little afraid of him. This person was indeed not simple. More importantly, there was a Nebula Realm powerhouse in the Dark Devil clan. This was bad news for Mo Qingyun. Who is ZK? Realizing that ZK was not simple, Mo Qingyun revealed a grave expression and immediately inquired about his identity. Mo Qingyun was a little worried. Other than ZK, there were other Nebula Realm powerhouses in the Dark Devil clan. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, ZK revealed a grave expression and said, "ZK is someone from the same generation as me. His cultivation talent is far above mine. Since the Desolate Era, among all the geniuses of the Dark Devil clan, ZK's talent can be ranked in the top 10. Only the top 10. After listening to ZK's explanation, Mo Qingyun revealed a shocked expression and his mood became even heavier. If that was the case, ZK was definitely not the only person in the Dark Devil clan who had broken through to the Nebula Realm. Chapter 2350. When Mo Qingyun and the others discovered the other party, Ziqi and the others also discovered them and quickly approached them. In a short while, Ziqi and the others arrived and stood in front of Mo Qingyun and the others. "ZK, you actually came back." Zichi's face was filled with surprise when he saw ZK in the crowd. He glanced at Mo Qingyun and the others. When Zichi saw Mo Qingyun, his face immediately darkened and he scolded angrily. ZK, how dare you bring Mo Qingyun here to search for treasures in the dark spirit abyss? With Zichi's intelligence, he could naturally guess that ZK had brought Mo Qingyun here to search for treasures in the dark spirit abyss. ZK didn't care about Zichi's scolding and stood calmly behind Mo Qingyun. Seeing ZK remain silent, Zichi's eyes flashed coldly, and he said, "Humph, since you have nothing to say, don't blame me for being impolite and cleaning up this traitor." Zichi did not give ZK a chance to explain himself as he pounced towards Z Quebec. "I'll deal with Z Quebec. You guys go deal with the others." Zichi ordered the others to deal with Mo Qingyun and the others as he attacked Z Quebec. With Zichi's order, a great battle broke out and both sides entered a chaotic battle. Facing Zichi's powerful attack, ZK didn't dare to be careless and immediately used his full strength. "Yeah, you've actually broken through to the nebula stage? That's really surprising." Zichi was shocked when he sensed ZK's cultivation. His gaze became even colder, and he said, "ZK, with your current cultivation, if you're willing to turn back, the clan will still give you an important task. How about you help me deal with that brat?" "Zichi, there's no need to say anything more. Let's fight." ZK directly rejected Zichi's persuasion and assumed a fighting posture. Zichi's expression turned ugly when he saw ZK's behavior. He said coldly, "ZK, since you're so stubborn, I can only place righteousness before family. 1 yuan blood-wasting palm." Purple Pestil's arms trembled as Saint energy gathered in his palms, releasing a dazzling blood-red glow. Then, Z Pestil moved and attacked ZK crazily. Bluestone Nebula Fist. ZK clenched his fists tightly. The green light on his fists was so bright that no one could look directly at it. Gathering his Saint energy into his fists, ZK swung his fists and met the Purple Pestil head-on without flinching. Bang, bang, bang. Under ZK's direct confrontation, the earth quaked and the mountains shook as the sky and the earth turned upside down. Zichi was shocked when he saw that ZK wasn't at a disadvantage at all. He said, "ZK, I underestimated you. I didn't expect that your cultivation and strength would improve so quickly after following that kid. Purple Pestil, your cultivation path is all wrong. You should turn back now." In response to Zichi's shocked reaction, ZK's expression was solemn. He tried to persuade Zichi before saying, "The two of us have known each other for millions of years. I really can't bear to see you continue making mistakes. If you're willing to submit to Master, I can help you plead with him." "You want me to submit to him?" Zichi chuckled when he heard ZK's persuasion. His expression was full of disdain as he said, "ZK, I don't mind telling you that the Blood Ancestor will wake up very soon. Once he wakes up, this kid and the people around him will be finished. You should be the one to wake up earlier." As Zichi spoke, his attacks became even more ferocious, forcing ZK into a disadvantageous position. "ZK, you're no match for me. Just wait for your death." Seeing that ZK was being suppressed, Zichi smiled coldly and said, "I forgot to tell you that my superpower, the 1,000 blood-wasting palm, was taught to me by the Blood Ancestor through his divine consciousness. It's a superpower that can restrain bloodline power. It's indeed a powerful superpower. Unfortunately, it's useless against me." ZK did not refute Zichi's superpower. With a faint smile on his face, he said, "I forgot to tell you that the reason I was able to break through to the Nebula Realm was because I gave up all my bloodline power and achieved a breakthrough." "You actually gave up all your bloodline power? No wonder you weren't suppressed by the 1,000 blood-wasting palm." Zichi was shocked when he heard that ZK had given up his bloodline power. Then, his expression became even more ferocious as he shouted, "Even if you don't have your bloodline power and aren't restrained by the 1,000 blood-wasting palm, I can still easily crush you. 10,000 blood, heavenly demon, possession." Zichi raised his head and roared. Streaks of blood flew out of his body and quickly gathered above his head. Then, these streaks of blood condensed into a blood shadow that looked like a giant ape bathed in blood. Once the blood shadow great ape was formed, it fused with the purple pestle and rapidly increased the purple pestle's strength. At the same time, Zichi's body grew a lot taller. He was now half a body taller than Z Quebec. Great Sky Shattering Blood Demon Fist. After merging with the blood shadow giant ape, Zichi clenched his fist and punched towards Z Quebec. With a swing of his fist, a blood-red fist shadow the size of a small mountain came crashing down on Z Quebec Sky, piercing star finger. ZK did not retreat in the face of Zichi's punch. Instead, he pointed his finger at the blood-red fist shadow. ZK put two of his fingers together and released a dazzling light, as if it was a golden longsword. Clang! The finger shadow clashed with the blood-red fist shadow, and there was a loud explosion. The two of them were in a stalemate. It was just that this stalemate situation did not last for long before it ended with the collapse of the finger light. Bang, bang, bang. As the finger shadow dissipated, the blood-red fist shadow continued to move forward and soon arrived in front of Z Quebec. Following that, ZK was sent flying by the blood-red fist shadow. After sending ZK flying with a punch, Zichi revealed a smug smile and said, ZK, although you abandoned all your bloodlines and were lucky enough to enter the Nebula Realm, I have to tell you that only by planting all kinds of powerful bloodlines can we unleash the super strength of our clan. ZK is lost. Mo Qingyun was shocked when he saw ZK being sent flying. He killed his opponent with a punch. After killing his opponent, Mo Qingyun's figure flashed and arrived by ZK's side. He asked, ZK, how are your injuries? Can you continue to fight? Master, don't worry. I only suffered some minor injuries. It's nothing serious. Hearing Mo Qingyun's question, ZK immediately shook his head and smiled. This assured Mo Qingyun. After looking at ZK and seeing that his injuries were not serious, Mo Qingyun was relieved. Leave this person to me. You go and help Han Liu and the others. After instructing ZK, Mo Qingyun flew towards Zichi and prepared to deal with ZK personally. Chapter 2351. Brat, you want to fight with me? Zichi was taken aback when he saw Mo Qingyun flying towards him. His eyes were filled with disdain. Obviously, he thought that Mo Qingyun wasn't qualified to fight him with his cultivation base at the early stage of the Saint Realm. If you're afraid, you can take your men and leave this place. Mo Qingyun shrugged in response to Zichi's mocking words. As if he was looking down on Zichi, Zichi was furious when he saw Mo Qingyun's disdainful attitude. He shouted, Brat, don't be so arrogant. I'm not afraid of you. Since you want to die, I'll kill you. Zichi threw out a punch as soon as he finished speaking. His arm left behind an afterimage. Then a huge blood-red fist came crashing down on Mo Qingyun. Fire of Civilization, Saint Demon's Star Shattering Fist. Mo Qingyun did not flinch in the face of Zichi's attack. He took the initiative to meet Zichi's attack. As Mo Qingyun swung his fist, a raging flame flew out from his body like a dragon. Then, the flame gathered on his fist and turned into a huge, flaming fist shadow. Roar! The huge flaming fist shadow flew out like a ferocious tiger and pounced on the huge blood-red fist shadow. The two fist shadows collided with each other and burst out with a burst of light, creating a terrifying energy wave. Mo Qingyun's figure didn't retreat in the slightest under the impact of the energy waves. He controlled the flaming fist shadows to attack. This kid's strength has actually reached such a level. Zichi was shocked when he saw the power of Mo Qingyun's punch. He stopped looking down on Mo Qingyun. In this exchange of blows, he discovered that Mo Qingyun's strength was already qualified to be his opponent. Bang, bang, bang. After the two fist shadows collided, they were in a stalemate for a while before collapsing one after the other. When the two fish shadows collapsed, Mo Qingyun did not stop and took the initiative to meet Ziqi Brat. Since you want to fight me head-on, I'll show you the power of the heavenly blood demon body. Ziqi sneered when he saw Mo Qingyun approaching him. He also dashed towards Mo Qingyun. As Mo Qingyun and Ziqi approached, they did not hold back and attacked each other crazily. Boom, boom, boom. When Mo Qingyun and Ziqi's fists collided, there was a loud explosion and a terrifying shockwave. When the shockwaves from the battle spread, Han Liu and the others who were fighting immediately moved to the side. With the strength of these people, if they were affected by the aftermath of the battle, they would suffer quite a bit of damage. This brat's body is so strong. The heavenly blood devil body is actually unable to withstand it. As Ziqi continued to exchange blows with Mo Qingyun, the shock in his heart grew stronger and stronger. The way he looked at Mo Qingyun changed drastically. He was very clear on how powerful the heavenly blood demon physique was, yet it was still no match for Mo Qingyun's body. This result frightened him quite a bit. If that was the case, how strong would Mo Qingyun's physical body be? Although he was shocked, Ziqi did not retreat. He continued to fight with Mo Qingyun. I don't believe that your body is stronger than the heavenly blood demon body. You'll find out soon enough. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly when he heard Ziqi's cold and arrogant words and calmly replied. Ziqi's heavenly blood demon body was formed by saint energy. It cannot last long. If the battle dragged on, Ziqi's heavenly blood demon body would not be able to withstand Mo Qingyun's attacks. Boom! The two of them fought for another 10 rounds. Under Mo Qingyun's punch, Ziqi's heavenly blood demon body was destroyed. Ziqi's face changed when he saw the heavenly blood demon body being defeated. His eyes widened as he said, "No, impossible. Even if your body is strong, how can you defeat the heavenly blood demon body with your initial saint realm cultivation?" Mo Qingyun did not reply to Ziqi's shocked reaction. He continued to attack without hesitation. Without the protection of the heavenly blood demon body, Ziqi did not dare to fight head-on. He immediately dodged Mo Qingyun's attacks. Don't think you can escape. Seeing Ziqi retreat, Mo Qingyun's face turned cold and a light flashed in his eyes. Then 2 beams of power shot out from his eyes. Poochie! Ziqi's body froze when he was hit by the light. He was stunned for a moment. Mo Qingyun arrived behind Ziqi and punched him in the back the moment Ziqi's body stopped moving. Boom! After being hit by Mo Qingyun's punch, Ziqi was sent flying and created a large hole in the ground. The experts from the Dark Demon clan were shocked when they saw Z Pestle being sent flying. Even Saint Ancestor Ziqi was sent flying. This kid is too strong. He's only an initial Saint Realm cultivator. How can he be so strong? What do we do now? Even Saint Ancestor Ziqi is no match for him. We can't fight him. The experts of the Dark Demon race were horrified when they saw Z Pestle being sent flying. In their opinion, without Ziqi to keep Mo Qingyun in check, they would be slaughtered. Ziqi crawled up from the ground in a sorry state under the horrified gazes of the experts from the Dark Demon race. You can still stand up. You're quite resilient. Looking at Z Pestle crawling out of the ground, a faint smile appeared on Mo Qingyun's face. He was a bit surprised by Z Pestle's resistance. Ziqi took out a sword. Kid, you really surprised me. You're the only one in the past 100,000 years to injure me. In order to express my gratitude, I've decided to let you feel the power of a Cosmic Cloud State weapon. Cosmic Cloud State weapon. Mo Qingyun's eyelids twitched when he saw the saber in Ziqi's hand. His expression immediately turned serious. With Ziqi's power and a Cosmic Cloud State weapon, it would be difficult to deal with him. Luckily, it's only a top-grade Cosmic Cloud State weapon. Observing the saber in Ziqi's hand, Mo Qingyun could tell its grade, and his worried heart relaxed a little. If it was a quasi-Cosmic River State weapon, it would be very difficult for him to deal with Ziqi, while Mo Qingyun was shocked he did not hesitate and immediately took out the tiger's soul. I didn't expect you to have a cosmic cloud state weapon as well. ZG's face darkened when he saw the tiger's soul in Mo Qingyun's hand. He revealed a sliver of disdain and said, "However, the weapon in your hand is severely damaged. It's impossible to use its true strength. You can't use it to change your fate. It's enough to deal with you." Mo Qingyun didn't care about Ziqi's words and calmly replied. After that, Mo Qingyun moved and took the initiative to attack ZG. Chapter 23:52. Rising Dragon Sword. Under Mo Qingyun's attack, the tiger's soul released a dazzling golden light as it blasted out a dragon-shaped sword radiance. The dragon-shaped sword radiance flew out with a powerful aura as it crushed down on Zihua. Zihua's expression changed drastically as he faced the attack of the dragon-shaped sword radiance. He looked like he was in pain. It seemed like the dragon-shaped sword radiance's spiritual aura made him feel very uncomfortable. This kid's superpower is so strong. It even has a spiritual attack. Zihua was shocked as he defended against the spiritual attack in his sea of consciousness. He looked at Mo Qingyun with fear. The strength that Mo Qingyun displayed now was already enough to threaten him. It was even possible that he could kill him here. Zihua realized this and did not hesitate as he blocked Mo Qingyun's attack. Demonic blood, earth-shattering cut. Zihua held his sword with both hands as a terrifying blood aura exploded from his body. He looked like a demonic god. At the same time, the battle sword in Zihua's hand began to gather terrifying blood aura as it released a dazzling light. Slash! Zihua swung his arm, and a 100-meter-long blood-red sword radiance blasted out from his battle sword. Bang, bang, bang. Following which, the two sword radiances collided and exploded with an earth-shattering sound. After blocking the dragon-shaped sword radiance, the blood-red sword radiance exploded and shot up into the sky. This blood-red radiance was like a volcanic eruption as it shot up into the sky. Under the impact of the blood-red radiance, the dragon-shaped sword radiance started to dissipate. Again, Mo Qingyun was not surprised that his attack had been countered. He slashed at Zihua again. Another saber gleam with a threatening aura flew out from the tiger's soul and bombarded the purple pestle. Facing Mo Qingyun's attack again, Zihua's heart skipped a beat as his expression turned serious. Mo Qingyun's superpower had both a material and spiritual attack. He felt that it was better to be on guard. He didn't dare guarantee that he would be able to withstand Mo Qingyun's attacks all the time. Brat, don't go too far. Be careful that this old man doesn't perish together with you. Under Mo Qingyun's tyrannical attacks, he was forced into a passive position. Purple Pestle shouted angrily. While Purple Pestle was venting his dissatisfaction, he also swung the saber in his hand to defend against Mo Qingyun's storm-like attacks. In the next moment, Mo Qingyun and Lin Fan fought each other crazily. The battle turned the sky and the earth upside down. What made Mo Qingyun feel helpless was that even though he had the upper hand, he was unable to kill ZG. Purple Pestle is indeed a genius of the Dark Demon clan. He's not easy to deal with. Mo Qingyun's mind spun rapidly as he tried to think of a way to resolve the situation. He thought, this can't go on. If other Dark Devil experts come, we'll be in a passive position. Just as Mo Qingyun was pondering, a group of people quickly approached, emitting a terrifying aura. Not good. The Dark Devil Clan's experts are here. We can't continue fighting. Seeing that the Dark Devil Clan's experts had arrived, Mo Qingyun's face tightened. He turned to look at ZK and the others and transmitted his voice to them. ZK, retreat immediately. I'll send you to the Fortune mainland. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, ZK and the others responded one after another and forced their opponents back. After ZK and the others retreated, Mo Qingyun controlled the Fortune mainland and sucked them into it. They're all gone. Ziqi and the others were shocked when they saw that ZK and the others had disappeared. They were very surprised by this situation. After a brief moment of shock, ZK sneered with a complacent expression, "Brat, don't think that you can leave after using a spatial artifact to suck them away." Mo Qingyun did not respond to ZK's complacent words. Instead, he attacked even more fiercely. He wanted to force Purple Pestle away from the battlefield so that he wouldn't be surrounded by the Dark Devil race experts. Ziqi understood Mo Qingyun's intentions when he saw his reaction. The complacent expression on his face grew even more as he said, "Kid, it's too late for you to flee now. Just obediently allow yourself to be captured. All of you, attack together. Don't let Mo Qingyun escape." ZK ordered the people around him to attack Mo Qingyun together. Hearing ZK's order, the Dark Devil clan's experts immediately surrounded Mo Qingyun. In a short moment, Mo Qingyun's escape route was blocked. He could only escape towards the Dark Spirit World abyss. What should I do? Looking at his current situation, Mo Qingyun's face tightened and his mind spun rapidly. Mo Qingyun's mind spun and he made a decision. He decisively charged towards the Dark Spirit World abyss. "I'll enter the Dark Spirit World abyss first, then use the environment of the Dark Spirit World abyss to slowly annihilate ZK and the others." In Mo Qingyun's opinion, since he was going to explore the Dark Spirit World abyss, it did not matter whether he went in sooner or later. More importantly, once he entered the Dark Spirit World abyss, it would be difficult for ZK and the others to surround him. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed, and he entered the Dark Spirit World abyss, disappearing before everyone's eyes. ZK's face darkened when he saw Mo Qingyun's actions. He was so angry that his face kept twitching as he shouted, "Humph! Even if you enter the Dark Spirit World abyss, you will still die without a doubt." While ZK was venting his anger, a group of people came up to him and scanned the surroundings with dark expressions. After sizing up the surroundings, a young man walked up to ZK and asked, "Saint Ancestor ZK, who were the people who were fighting with you?" "Saint Ziqingrong, the people who were fighting with us were Mo Qingyun and his subordinates." In response to the young man's question, Ziqi revealed a respectful expression and reported truthfully to the young man. "Mo Qingyun?" After hearing ZK's explanation, the young man's expression darkened. A sharp glint flashed across his eyes as he said, "This Mo Qingyun is quite bold. He actually dares to come to the Dark Mainland. However, this is good too. It saves us the trouble of slowly looking for him." "Saint Ziqingrong, Mo Qingyun has escaped into the Dark Spirit World abyss. What should we do now?" ZK asked Ziqingrong for his opinion as he looked at the Dark Spirit World abyss before him. Under ZK's inquiring gaze, Ziqingrong said with a calm expression, "Since we have to explore the Dark Spirit World abyss anyway, let's enter the Dark Spirit World abyss immediately and search for opportunities while looking for Mo Qingyun's hiding place." "Yes." Hearing Ziqingrong's order, Ziqi immediately nodded and led everyone into the Dark Spirit abyss. Chapter 2353. In the Dark Spirit abyss, it was pitch black with no end in sight. With Mo Qingyun's amazing eyesight, the distance that he could see was only about 100 meters. As the Dark Spirit abyss was very dangerous, Mo Qingyun did not dare to go deeper. After walking for about a quarter of an hour, Mo Qingyun stopped and sat down beside a small stream. When Mo Qingyun sat down, a terrifying devouring power shrouded him. Under the devouring power, he felt the saint energy in his body draining away like water. What an amazing devouring power! Sensing the loss of saint energy in his body, Mo Qingyun was shocked and immediately resisted the devouring power in his body. While suppressing the loss of saint energy in his body, Mo Qingyun frowned and was surprised. He said to himself, "This devouring power seems familiar. I've encountered it before." With such a discovery, Mo Qingyun released his soul power and carefully sensed the devouring power in his body. After sensing for a while, Mo Qingyun came to a realization. He remembered that he had met them there before. This devouring power seems to be exactly the same as the power released by the dark light door. Knowing that he had encountered the devouring power there, Mo Qingyun's mind flashed, and he had a bold idea. The devouring power in the dark light door can trigger the gate of creation. Maybe this devouring power can too. With this idea, Mo Qingyun immediately tried it and carefully guided the devouring power into his body. As the devouring power entered his body, the saint energy in Mo Qingyun's body was quickly draining away again. Mo Qingyun did not care about it. He focused on sensing the condition of his body and waited for the gate of creation to move. A few hours passed quickly. No, I've lost too much saint energy. I can't continue like this. Sensing the severe loss of saint energy, Mo Qingyun activated his cultivation method to suppress the loss of saint energy in his body. His current situation was not safe. Not only was he being pursued by Zi Qi and the others, but he was also facing the potential danger in the dark spirit abyss. Therefore, before he could ensure his safety, he could not allow himself to lose the ability to fight. Then, Mo Qingyun began to circulate the 9 temples of the Sun Nebula technique, suppressing the loss of his saint energy while refining the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to restore his vitality. While Mo Qingyun was refining the heaven and earth's spiritual energy, he had another thought. He muttered to himself, "If I allow the devouring power to seep into my body, I won't be able to trigger the appearance of the Gate of Destinies. If I were to refine this devouring power, would the Gate of Destinies appear? Let's try it first." With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun didn't want to think too much about it and immediately tried it out. Waves of domineering, devouring power were once again drawn into Mo Qingyun's body, madly devouring the saint energy in his body. After absorbing the devouring power into his body, Mo Qingyun activated the Sun's 9 temples nebula technique and refined it bit by bit. Buzz, 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 just as Mo Qingyun was refining the devouring power, the Gate of Destinies that had merged into his body finally reacted a little. Sensing the situation in his body, Mo Qingyun's expression was overjoyed, and he became excited. It really works. To verify his guess, Mo Qingyun worked even harder to refine the devouring power that was enveloping him. Then, as time passed, the Gate of Destiny's reaction became more and more intense. Clang, clang, clang. After an unknown period of time, the sound of a sword being unsheathed could be heard from Mo Qingyun's body. Then, tiny spots of light flew out from Mo Qingyun's body. These spots of light flew out and began to merge bit by bit, forming a transparent door of light. Is the Gate of Destinies going to reform? Seeing the light spots forming the door of light, Mo Qingyun's expression was one of shock, his heart almost jumping out of his chest. If the Gate of Destinies was going to reform, it was undoubtedly the best news for him. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, the door of light emitted a suction force, crazily absorbing the devouring power around it. Under Mo Qingyun's expectant gaze, the suction force released by the Gate of Destinies became stronger and stronger. The door of light that it emitted also became dimmer and dimmer, becoming more and more like a dark door of light. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun was puzzled. The situation did not seem to be what he had imagined. Now, it seemed that the Gate of Destinies did not look like it was reforming, but more like it was evolving. It really turned into a dark door of light. Just like that, after a few hours, the Gate of Destinies had completely turned into a dark door of light. The Gate of Destiny's appearance had completely become the same as the dark door of light. The aura that it emitted had also become eerie and cold. Not only that, but a terrifying, devouring power was also emitted from within. Facing this situation, Mo Qingyun felt a little helpless. The Gate of Destinies was even more unfathomable to him. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock and bewilderment, the Gate of Destinies turned into a ray of black light and returned to his body. As the Gate of Destinies returned to his body, it once again sank into his body and disappeared from Mo Qingyun's senses. Looks like the origin of the Gate of Destinies is not as simple as I thought. Seeing this situation, Mo Qingyun's doubts became even stronger. After thinking hard for a while, Mo Qingyun abandoned all distracting thoughts in his mind and devoted himself to cultivation. Now, the most important thing for him was to recover the saint energy that he had consumed as soon as possible. What shocked him was that the speed at which he refined the heaven and earth's spiritual energy was almost 10 times faster than before. Could this be the ability that I obtained after the gate of destinies evolved? Realizing that the refining speed had skyrocketed, Mo Qingyun was shocked. This situation was quite shocking. He really did not expect that after the gate of destinies evolved, it would bring him such an improvement. Forget it, no matter what, it's a good thing for me. After calming down the shock in his heart, Mo Qingyun once again devoted himself to cultivation, refining the heaven and earth's spiritual energy around him. As the refining speed had increased by 10 times, Mo Qingyun's saint energy recovery speed had obviously increased. After about an hour, the saint energy that Mo Qingyun had consumed previously was completely restored. Since the saint energy has been restored and the gate of destinies has evolved, it's time to explore the dark spirit abyss. According to ZK and the others, although the dark spirit abyss was a dangerous place, it was also a place of treasures. If Mo Qingyun could gain something here, he would have more to rely on when dealing with the Dark Devil tribe. Next, Mo Qingyun followed the stream and carefully moved forward. Mo Qingyun had not gone far when a huge black worm jumped out of the stream. The black worm jumped out of the stream and sprayed out black liquid, like a large net, towards Mo Qingyun. Its aura is comparable to the great perfection of the Saint Realm. What a powerful demonic beast. No wonder the dark spirit abyss is said to be dangerous. Sensing the black worm's aura, Mo Qingyun's expression changed, and he immediately raised his guard. Chapter 2354. Realizing how powerful the black worm was, Mo Qingyun immediately dodged the venom it spat out. As soon as Mo Qingyun dodged, the venom spat out by the black worm landed where he was standing. Chi-chi, the venom scattered on the ground and corroded the ground, creating a large pit in the blink of an eye. At the same time, the surrounding vegetation quickly withered. In the process of withering, the spiritual energy contained in their bodies was devoured by the venom. After devouring the spiritual energy of the vegetation, the large net formed by the venom was obviously stronger. Hiss. Seeing that its attack had missed, the black worm twisted its body and spat out another black silk. The black silk shot out and landed on the large venom net, pulling it to attack Mo Qingyun. Under the guidance of the black silk, the large venom net left the ground and enveloped Mo Qingyun. What a strange method! Seeing the black worm's attack, Mo Qingyun's expression was shocked, and he became even more vigilant. While Mo Qingyun was shocked, he did not continue to dodge and began to counterattack the black worm. Fire of Civilization * demonic star splitting palm. Mo Qingyun flipped his palm, and terrifying flames gathered on his palm, turning into a huge flaming palm shadow. The flaming palm shadow formed and blasted toward the large venom net with the momentum of Mount Tai. Puff, puff, puff. Faced with the burning of the huge flaming palm, the large venom net was quickly annihilated and turned into ashes in the blink of an eye. After dispersing the large venom net, Mo Qingyun's figure did not stop and continued to approach the black worm. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times, and he arrived in front of the black worm and slammed his palm down on it. As Mo Qingyun waved his palm, an even stronger fire of civilization condensed in his palm. Facing Mo Qingyun's attack, the black worm immediately retreated, and a pair of black wings grew out of its back. Puff, puff, puff. Black wings sprouted from his back and flapped rapidly as he dodged to the back. When the black worm flapped its wings, clouds of black poisonous fog floated out from its wings. In just a short while, the black poisonous fog had completely engulfed Mo Qingyun. Condense. Facing the attack of the pollen like poisonous fog, Mo Qingyun's mind moved and wrapped himself in the fire of civilization. At this moment, Mo Qingyun gave off the feeling that he was wearing a flaming armor. Under the burning of the fire of civilization, the poisonous fog close to Mo Qingyun immediately dissipated. After fending off the poison fog's attack, Mo Qingyun's figure continued to approach the black worm. Bang! Mo Qingyun's figure flickered a few times before he approached the black worm and pressed his palm against its body. Under Mo Qingyun's palm, the black worm was immediately sent flying, and cracks appeared on its body. After a while, the black worm's body was torn apart by Mo Qingyun's palm. As the black worm's body was torn apart, its aura fluctuation disappeared, and a small black door of light flew out of its body. This black door of light is very similar to the black door of light I got from Xunyo Temple. Seeing the door of light fly out of the black worm's body, Mo Qingyun showed a curious expression and raised his hand to collect it. After collecting the black door of light, Mo Qingyun began to carefully observe it. He thought to himself, the door of light in the black worm's body is the same as the one I got from Xunyo Temple. If I refine it, I should be able to stimulate the evolution of the Gate of Fortune. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and immediately refined the black door of light. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As Mo Qingyun refined the black door of light, the Gate of Fortune that was immersed in his body immediately sensed something. Following that, the Gate of Fortune flew out of his body and appeared above Mo Qingyun's head, devouring the energy in the black door of light. After a while, the energy in the black door of light was devoured by the Gate of Fortune. After devouring the energy in the black door of light, the Gate of Fortune turned into a stream of light and returned to Mo Qingyun's body. After the Gate of Fortune returned to his body, Mo Qingyun opened his eyes and withdrew from his cultivation. He thought to himself, it seems that my deduction is correct. As long as I continue to replenish the Gate of Fortune's energy, it should reappear. With this deduction in mind, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any more time and decided to carry it out. Following that, Mo Qingyun walked along the stream and slowly walked forward. As Mo Qingyun hurried along, he encountered many black worms and killed them one by one. After killing the worms, Mo Qingyun let the Gate of Fortune refine the black door of light in their bodies. After absorbing a large amount of the black worm's energy, the Gate of Fortune gave off an obvious feeling that it had become more condensed. Based on this trend, it seems that it won't be long before the Gate of Fortune reappears. Looking at the Gate of Fortune that was becoming more and more condensed, Mo Qingyun revealed an expression of anticipation and thought to himself. After sizing up the Gate of Fortune for a while, Mo Qingyun stored it back into his body and continued on his way to the stream. A few hours later, Mo Qingyun walked to the end of the stream and saw a black mountain range that was emitting an even stronger devouring force. Sensing the devouring force of the mountain range, Mo Qingyun's heart became even more tense and his footsteps slowed down even more. He had a feeling that the danger level of this mountain range might be far higher than the stream from before. As expected, as soon as Mo Qingyun got close to the mountain range, he saw a huge golden-shelled insect crawling aimlessly on the mountain range. These golden beetles were covered in golden armor and gave off a feeling that they were invulnerable. Most importantly, a few of these golden beetles had reached the galaxy grade. This mountain range is indeed extremely dangerous. Looking at the golden beetles on the Black Mountain Range, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat. His expression immediately turned serious. Although he was shocked by the strength of the golden beetles, Mo Qingyun did not retreat. Instead, he continued to approach the Black Mountain Range. When Mo Qingyun approached the mountain range, he summoned ZK and the others to help him deal with the golden beetles. Dark Spirit devouring golden beetles. ZK came to Mo Qingyun's side. When he saw the golden beetles on the mountain range, his expression immediately tensed up. I didn't expect them to have reached the galaxy grade. It's no wonder that 90% of our elders died when they came here. Hearing ZK's words, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression. ZK seemed to know about these golden beetles. Sensing Mo Qingyun's curious gaze, ZK knew what Mo Qingyun was thinking and said, "Master, the dark spirit devouring golden beetles are very dangerous. When we fight with them, we must be careful of their seeds. Don't let their seeds touch us." Seeds? Hearing ZK's words, Mo Qingyun became even more curious and waited for ZK to explain. Chapter 2355. While Mo Qingyun was puzzled, Han Liu and the others also had puzzled expressions on their faces. Seeing that Mo Qingyun and the others were puzzled, ZK sorted out his thoughts and began to explain. When the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect attacks the enemy, it will scatter its eggs on the enemy when the enemy is not paying attention. The eggs will hatch on the enemy's body and attack. Mo Qingyun and the others were stunned. They were confused by ZK's words. Could hatching eggs be considered an attack? Seeing that Mo Qingyun and the others still did not understand, ZK continued to explain. When the eggs are scattered on the enemy's body, it will immediately hatch and become a larva. It will burrow into the enemy's body and devour the enemy's blood and saint energy to strengthen itself. Finally, it will break open the enemy's body and kill the enemy. One overbearing attack. After listening to ZK's explanation, Mo Qingyun finally understood how powerful the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect was. Han Liu and the others also had a serious expression after listening to ZK's explanation. All of you stay here first. I'll find a dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect and spar with it. After instructing everyone, Mo Qingyun walked forward to test the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect strength. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, ZK and the others were worried and wanted to persuade Mo Qingyun. However, before they could say anything, Mo Qingyun had already walked far away. Helpless, ZK and the others could only wait for Mo Qingyun with worried expressions. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times. He came to the side of a dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect and raised his hand to slash at it. Under Mo Qingyun's slash, an imposing saber light blasted onto the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's body. As Mo Qingyun had held back a portion of his strength, he did not kill the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect. Crack, crack, crack. After being attacked by Mo Qingyun, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect immediately jumped up and launched a counterattack at Mo Qingyun. In order to avoid attracting the attention of the other dark spirit devouring gold-shelled insects, Mo Qingyun immediately retreated, distancing himself from the swarm. After distancing himself from the swarm of dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects, Mo Qingyun stopped in his tracks. His face was filled with anticipation as he said, "If that's the case, let me see just how powerful your attacks are." Since Mo Qingyun stopped running, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect caught up and began to attack Mo Qingyun. Chi chi chi. The dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect flapped its wings a few times, and golden lightning shot out from its wings. Lightning. Seeing the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects attack, the corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly, but he did not dodge. He smiled faintly and said, "Lightning attacks of this level are unable to harm me." The dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects cultivation was only at the great perfection saint realm. Obviously, it was unable to threaten Mo Qingyun. It was because of this that Mo Qingyun dared to use it as a test subject and use his body to withstand its attacks. Seeing that its attack was ineffective, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect did not stop attacking. It continued to attack Mo Qingyun with lightning attacks. However, when the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect attacked this time, inconspicuous golden light spots flew out from its wings. These golden light spots flew out, and, under the cover of the golden lightning, landed on Mo Qingyun's body. These golden light spots were the eggs that it had scattered. The dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect attack method is just as ZK said. Sensing the eggs that landed on his body, Mo Qingyun's expression tensed up as he understood what was going on. Immediately, Mo Qingyun became alert. He immediately activated the fire of civilization and burned most of the eggs. One of the eggs that Mo Qingyun had purposely left behind quickly hatched on Mo Qingyun's body. It turned into a larva and burrowed into Mo Qingyun's body. Mo Qingyun didn't stop the larva's actions and allowed it to enter his body. However, when the larva entered his body, Mo Qingyun also sealed his main meridians to prevent the larva from entering his heart and sea of consciousness. As soon as the larva entered Mo Qingyun's body, it devoured Mo Qingyun's blood and sane energy to quickly strengthen itself. What a fast devouring speed. It's comparable to the cultivation speed of a Saint Realm expert. Moreover, its movements are very subtle. Sensing the larva's movements and changes, Mo Qingyun was shocked and felt a lingering fear. He thought to himself, "Fortunately, ZK warned me. If I didn't know, the larva's devouring of blood and saint energy would be easy to overlook." About 100 breaths later, under Mo Qingyun's observation, the larva completed a transformation. Its cultivation level directly broke through from the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm to the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm. What a fast speed of improvement. Seeing the larva's transformation speed, Mo Qingyun was shocked again. However, he was not in a hurry to kill the larva. Just like that, Mo Qingyun observed for another hour before he finally acted to kill the larvae. In just an hour, the larva's cultivation level broke through from the 9 Heavens Xian Immortal Realm to the Saint Realm. This kind of speed of improvement was truly terrifying. If it was allowed to continue growing, the consequences would be unimaginable. When Mo Qingyun killed the larva, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bug immediately sensed it and controlled the larva to attack Mo Qingyun's body. If in a galaxy realm, it might be a threat to me. A mere Saint Realm beginner is nothing to worry about. Sensing the larva's attack, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and killed the larva domineeringly. After killing the larva, Mo Qingyun did not want to hold back and killed the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bug in front of him. Fire of civilization, heavenly demon, star, splitting palm. Mo Qingyun blasted out a palm, and a huge flaming palm pressed down on the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bug. Faced with the domineering attack of the flaming palm, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bug was swallowed by the flaming palm before it could escape. When the flaming palm dissipated, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bug's aura also disappeared completely. Although the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bugs attack methods are very strange and dangerous, it's not too difficult to guard against. After exchanging blows with the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bug for a while, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of its attack methods. More importantly, its movements are very slow. This is its fatal weakness. As long as we make good use of this, it won't be difficult to kill it. Mo Qingyun did not linger any longer. He turned around and flew towards ZK and the others. "Master, are you all right?" ZK asked Mo Qingyun with a concerned expression when he saw that Mo Qingyun had returned. He had clearly seen Mo Qingyun's performance earlier and couldn't help but worry for Mo Qingyun. Upon hearing ZK's concern, Mo Qingyun shook his head and said, "I've basically figured out the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled bugs attack power. Given your strength, you won't be in danger as long as you are careful. Let's go over now." Chapter 2356. As Mo Qingyun and the others approached, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles on the Blackstone Mountains were immediately alerted. Then, these dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles surrounded Mo Qingyun and the others. "ZK, follow me to lure away the galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles, and fight them elsewhere. The galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles, were too strong. Given the strength of Han Liu and the others, they would not be able to withstand their attacks. Therefore, Mo Qingyun lured them to the side to fight, which would reduce the pressure on Han Liu and the others. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, ZK immediately followed and lured the galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles away. When they arrived above the dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles, Mo Qingyun took out his god shooter bow and shot a few arrows in succession. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Several arrows condensed from sacred power emitted a powerful aura as they pierced through the sky and blasted the galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles. Upon being attacked by Mo Qingyun, the galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles were immediately enraged and attacked Mo Qingyun. Upon seeing the galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles attacking, Mo Qingyun immediately turned around and dodged to other places in the Blackstone Mountains. After a while, under the lure of Mo Qingyun and ZK, the three galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles were all lured out of the swarm and arrived at a spacious area halfway up the mountain. Attack! After luring the galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles away, Mo Qingyun instructed ZK and attacked the dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, ZK pounced on a dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetle, and engaged it in a fierce battle. While Mo Qingyun and ZK attacked, Han Liu and the others also attacked and engaged in a fierce battle with the sage-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled beetles. In an instant, the flames of war rose everywhere as various mystiques and immortal techniques covered the sky. Boom! Boom! Waves of terrifying shockwaves from the battle constantly bombarded the Blackstone Mountain range, emitting a series of shocking sounds. What surprised Mo Qingyun was that the Blackstone Mountains did not suffer any damage from the aftermath of the battle. The rocks of this mountain range are so hard. They can withstand the shock waves of the battle without being damaged at all. While Mo Qingyun was still in shock, the way he looked at the Blackstone Mountains changed greatly. It seems that the Blackstone Mountains are not simple. I'll have to study them carefully later. Even an ordinary sacred artifact might not be able to withstand the aftermath of their battle. The Blackstone Mountain range before him had forcefully withstood wave after wave of attacks, yet wasn't damaged in the slightest. This was clearly somewhat abnormal. After taking a brief look at the Blackstone Mountain range, Mo Qingyun shifted his gaze away and focused on killing the dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled insects. The attack power of the two dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled insects was still very terrifying. He could not afford to be careless or underestimate them. Dragon Source Tyrant Body, Holy Glory Theurgy Ignite, Fire of Civilization, Demonic Star, Splitting Palm, Yin-Yang Dual Pupils. During the battle with the two galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled insects, Mo Qingyun did not hold back. Instead, he attacked frantically. Under Mo Qingyun's barrage of attacks, the two galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled insects, immediately fell into a state of being beaten up. After fighting with the two galaxy-grade dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled insects for a while, Mo Qingyun made an important discovery. Although the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects are physically strong and their attacks are obscure and overbearing, flame attacks have an additional effect on them. It seems like using flame mystic abilities to deal with them will yield twice the results with half the effort. Mo Qingyun, who had discovered this, was about to remind ZK and the others to use their flame mystic abilities to attack. However, when Mo Qingyun looked at ZK, he discovered that there were many dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect eggs on ZK's body. More importantly, ZK had not discovered this, which was a little dangerous. ZK, Be careful of the eggs. Mo Qingyun immediately reminded ZK when he saw that he had not realized that there were eggs on his body. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's reminder, ZK shuddered in fright and started to wipe off the eggs on his body. While Mo Qingyun was reminding ZK, an idea suddenly flashed through his mind. The eggs of the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects can attack others silently. If I collect some eggs and use them to attack my enemies in a fight in the future, it might be a good method. As this idea formed in his mind, Mo Qingyun's lips curled into a smile. He wanted to use this to deal with ZK and the others. Just thinking about this was enough to make one excited. Then, Mo Qingyun began to try to collect the eggs of the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects. A ball of Saint Power shot out from Mo Qingyun's palm and enveloped a few eggs. He wanted to capture them. However, to Mo Qingyun's surprise, after the eggs were enveloped by the Saint Power, they immediately devoured the Saint Power. Using Saint Power to capture the eggs won't work. Seeing that the Saint Power was devoured by the eggs, Mo Qingyun frowned. He knew that his attempt had failed. Although his attempt had failed, Mo Qingyun did not give up. He began to think again. After thinking for a while, Mo Qingyun's eyes lit up and a smile appeared on his lips. He said, "Flames can restrain the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects. If I use the fire of civilization to capture them, the chances of success should be very high." Immediately, Mo Qingyun flipped his palms. Balls of flames erupted from his body and enveloped the eggs. Soon, the eggs that fell toward Mo Qingyun were all enveloped by the fire of civilization. When the eggs were enveloped by the fire of civilization, they violently twisted their bodies as if trying to break free from the imprisonment of the fire of civilization. However, the fire of civilization was too strong. The eggs did not dare to face it head-on and could only twist impatiently in the flames. Success! Seeing the reaction of the insect egg, the smile on Mo Qingyun's face immediately became even wider. It seemed that his attempt this time was successful. He had successfully captured the eggs. Seeing that his attempt was successful, Mo Qingyun did not want to waste any more time and continued to capture more eggs. While Mo Qingyun was capturing the eggs, he also divided a strand of his mind to build a flame cage in the Fortune mainland. A short while later, a giant fire cage was completed on the Fortune mainland. After the flame cage was completed, Mo Qingyun threw all the eggs he captured into the flame cage. Time passed little by little as Mo Qingyun captured the eggs. After an unknown period of time, not good, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects attacks are too strong. ZK and the others can't hold on for much longer. Seeing that ZK and the others were in danger due to the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects attacks, Mo Qingyun stopped capturing the eggs. Looking at ZK and the others' performance, they would die under the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects attacks. Chapter 23:57. Yin-Yang Dual Pupils. Two rays of oppressive light shot out from Mo Qingyun's eyes, turning into two streams of light that disappeared in a flash. Then, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetle that was fighting with ZK was blown away by the light. After the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetle was blown away by the light, ZK immediately felt the pressure on him lessen greatly. If Mo Qingyun didn't help him, he wouldn't be able to hold on and resist the attacks of the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles. After resolving ZK's crisis, Mo Qingyun said with a solemn expression, "ZK, go and help Han Liu and the others. I can deal with these three nebulous stage dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles alone." Yes, ZK didn't hesitate to go and help Han Liu and the others when he heard Mo Qingyun's instructions. He already knew from the fight that he couldn't deal with the nebulous stage dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles. There is no point in him staying and fighting with the nebulous stage dark spirit devouring golden shell beetles. On the contrary, he would be more useful if he went to help Han Leo and the others. With his nebula stage cultivation, it wouldn't be difficult for him to kill the sage stage dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles. With ZK joining the battle, the pressure on Han Leo and the others was greatly reduced. Compared to ZK and the others, Mo Qingyun was under a lot more pressure. He couldn't be as calm as before. After all, the fighting strength of the three nebulous stage dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles was still very terrifying. Fortunately, the cultivation of these three dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles is only at the early nebulous stage. If they were at the middle nebulous stage, they would be at the middle nebulous stage. Mo Qingyun rejoiced in his heart as he fought with the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled beetles. This dark spirit realm abyss was indeed dangerous. Later on, if one was not careful, there was a possibility of falling into eternal damnation. Mo Qingyun calmed himself down, and a ruthless expression appeared on his face. Three dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects working together. It will be very difficult for me to kill them one by one in a short period of time. Looks like I'll have to pay a price and kill one of them first. With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and immediately carried it out. Yin-yang dual pupils. Two beams of light shot out from Mo Qingyun's eyes into the head of a dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect. The dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's consciousness fell into a state of unconsciousness, and its body stiffened on the spot. After controlling one of the dark spirit devouring gold-shelled beetles, Mo Qingyun immediately took out the tiger soul and charged at the other dark spirit devouring gold-shelled beetle, preparing to deal with it first. As for the last dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect, Mo Qingyun didn't want to attack it. He was prepared to take its attack head-on. Rising Dragon Heaven Saber. Arriving in front of the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect, Mo Qingyun brandished the tiger soul and slashed at it. As Mo Qingyun brandished his saber, the tiger soul flashed with a golden light and shot out a dragon-shaped saber gleam. Roar! A deep dragon roar came from the saber gleam. Like a sound wave, it blasted into the dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled insect's brain. Under the intimidation of the dragon roar, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's body froze, as if it had been immobilized. While the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's body froze, the tiger's soul landed on its head and split its head open. Crack! A clear cracking sound was heard. The tiger's soul pierced through the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's head. As the tiger's soul pierced through its head, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's aura began to weaken rapidly. Bang! While Mo Qingyun was killing the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect, the last dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's attack landed on his back. After receiving the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's attack, Mo Qingyun was sent flying and crashed into the Blackstone Mountain Range. A terrifying rebound force came from the Blackstone Mountain Range, causing Mo Qingyun to suffer double damage. Puff! After receiving the double impact, Mo Qingyun's face turned pale. Some blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth. After stabilizing the surging qi and blood in his body, Mo Qingyun revealed an expression of lingering fear. He took a deep breath and said, "Fortunately, my Dragon Origin Tyrant body has a strong resistance against lightning-type attacks. Otherwise, that lightning-type attack might have caused me to lose the ability to fight." He had underestimated the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects' attack power, and had almost caused him to fall. Although the injuries he had suffered were more serious than he had expected, Mo Qingyun did not regret it. He smiled faintly and said, "Although the injuries are not light, I killed a dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect. This sacrifice was worth it." With one less dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insect's attack, the pressure on Mo Qingyun was greatly reduced. His tense expression also relaxed. Since I've killed one, I might as well kill the rest in one go. Looking at the two dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects in front of him, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold. He immediately attacked them. Now that he was injured, it was best to end the battle as soon as possible to prevent any unforeseen events from happening. After all, Zi Cha and the others from the Dark Demon race might still be chasing after him. If Zi Qi and the others were to arrive and attack him from both sides, he would be in a dire situation. Dragon Origin Tyrant Body. Sacred Glory Mystique. Ignite. Yin-Yang Dual Pupils. In an instant, Mo Qingyun executed various powerful mystiques one after another. Under Mo Qingyun's barrage of attacks, the remaining two dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects were killed in the blink of an eye. After killing all three dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects, Mo Qingyun threw their corpses into the Fortune mainland. After doing all this, Mo Qingyun's figure flickered, appearing beside ZK and the others to help them kill the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects. Master, you're injured? Seeing the trace of blood at the corner of Mo Qingyun's mouth, ZK and the others were alarmed. Their eyes were filled with worry. They knew very well that Mo Qingyun was injured because he was trying to resolve their crisis. Don't worry, let's deal with him first. Mo Qingyun waved his hand nonchalantly at ZK and the others' concern, indicating that they did not need to worry. Hearing Mo Qingyun's answer, ZK and the others did not ask any more questions and focused on killing the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects. In their opinion, the sooner they killed the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects, the sooner Mo Qingyun could recover from his injuries. With Mo Qingyun joining the battle, the remaining true Saint Realm dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects were quickly slaughtered. Let's go. After killing all the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled insects, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and led everyone away from this place. A short while later, with Mo Qingyun leading the way, everyone arrived at a valley. After leading everyone to the valley, Mo Qingyun did not delay any further and began to heal his injuries. Chapter 2358. One day later, Mo Qingyun stopped continuing to cultivate. After a day of recovery, his injuries were basically healed. Seeing Mo Qingyun withdraw from cultivation, ZK and the rest immediately gathered around and asked about Mo Qingyun's situation. Everyone, don't worry. My injuries are already fine. Towards everyone's concern, Mo Qingyun responded indifferently and walked towards a boulder in the mountain range. Mo Qingyun walked in front of the boulder. He released his soul force and carefully sensed the boulder. Judging from the previous situation, the hardness of the rocks on the Blackstone Mountain Range was not the slightest bit worse than a Galaxy Realm Divine weapon. If he could make use of these rocks, that was absolutely a good thing. It would be a pretty good harvest. This thought arose in his heart. Mo Qingyun flew to the sky, wanting to overlook the entire mountain range. When Mo Qingyun flew high in the sky, his expression couldn't help but freeze. He was stunned by the scene in front of him. He was surprised to discover that the Blackstone Mountain Range before his eyes was actually a giant's foot. In other words, this so-called Dark Spirit Realm Abyss was very likely a giant's body. This discovery really gave him quite a fright. Just what kind of race can have such a powerful physical body, as well as such a huge body? Discovering the Dark Spirit Realm Abyss's unusualness, the curiosity in Mo Qingyun's heart immediately became intense. He thought to himself, looking at the current situation, this giant's origin, when he was alive, is very likely to be a 4-star and above plane. When Mo Qingyun thought of this point, his heartbeat accelerated. He was even more curious about the Dark Spirit Realm Abyss. With his understanding, the level of the plane controlled by the Celestial Dragon Rock clan could barely be considered 2-star. One could imagine how powerful a 4-star plane was and how terrifying this giant's origin was. A powerhouse from a 4-star plane should have a lot of treasures on him. Speculating about the giant's origin, Mo Qingyun returned to the front of ZK and the rest with strong expectations. Seeing Mo Qingyun return to the ground, ZK and the rest revealed looks of anticipation and asked, "Master, what do we do next? Do we need to continue deeper into the dark spirit realm abyss?" "Not bad. Let's go deeper." Toward ZK and the rest request for instructions, Mo Qingyun nodded his head and continued. "I observed for a bit earlier. I discovered that this dark spirit realm abyss is very likely the corpse of a powerhouse." "What? The dark spirit abyss is the corpse of an expert?" "The dark spirit abyss is vast and boundless. If it is the corpse of an expert, how big would this expert's body be? His body is comparable to the size of a world. Just how strong was this expert when he was alive?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, ZK and the others were dumbfounded, and their eyes widened in fright. This piece of news was too sudden and too exciting for them. If it were someone else, they would definitely think that the person was spouting nonsense. Mo Qingyun had a solemn expression as he looked at the shocked faces of ZK and the others. He said, "From my observation earlier, I noticed that the Blackstone Mountain range before us is actually just a foot of a giant." ZK and the rest were shocked once again. Each and every one of them opened their eyes wide and looked at each other in dismay. They were slightly unable to accept this fact. One had to admit that what Mo Qingyun said now exceeded the scope of their understanding. After a brief moment of shock, ZK and the rest no longer hesitated and flew up high in the sky one after another. It's really a foot. What Master said is true. Such a powerful existence was actually killed by someone. Just how powerful would the person who killed him be? Looks like we still underestimated the dangers and mysteries of the dark spirit realm abyss. After confirming that Mo Qingyun's words were not false, ZK and the rest sighed endlessly. Their feelings were difficult to resolve for a long time. The scene in front of them shattered their perception and made them feel how insignificant they were. Before long, ZK and the rest returned. They stood beside Mo Qingyun with complicated expressions. "Let's go. Continue deeper into the dark spirit realm abyss." Mo Qingyun did not pay attention to the feelings of ZK and the rest. He instructed and flew forward. In his opinion, no matter who encountered such a thing, it would be difficult for them to accept it for a while. It could not be helped. This was indeed a little beyond common sense for them. Knowing the situation of the dark spirit realm abyss, Mo Qingyun and the rest had a much better idea of the following journey. Since the dark spirit realm abyss was the corpse of an expert, the route behind them was from the expert's foot to the head. About half an hour later, a purple-green fog blocked everyone's path, making it impossible for them to move forward. Looking at the fog ahead, Mo Qingyun frowned, and his expression became serious. He could feel that the fog ahead was very dangerous. They must deal with it carefully. Just as Mo Qingyun was sizing up the fog, a group of green-white worms flew out of the fog. These green-white worms exuded an astonishing aura when they appeared. Their cultivation was all above the saint realm. More importantly, these worms were obviously poisonous. "Everyone, be careful. These worms are all poisonous." Seeing the green-white worms appear, Mo Qingyun's expression tensed as he sternly reminded ZK and the rest. Hearing Mo Qingyun's reminder, ZK and the rest also tensed up as they carefully guarded against the worms attacking them. Under the vigilance of Mo Qingyun and the rest, the worms approached them quickly and launched an attack. The worms' flying speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, they had surrounded everyone in the center. Swish, swish, swish. After surrounding Mo Qingyun and the rest, the worms raised their butts and released clouds of green-purple poisonous gas. Seeing such an attack, Mo Qingyun and the rest were stunned. They did not know whether to laugh or cry. Although the attack method of the worm made Mo Qingyun and the others' jaws drop, they did not dare to underestimate it at all. Then, ZK and the rest attacked with all their strength, bombarding the approaching poisonous gas clouds. Under ZK and the others' attacks, a series of powerful superpowers were unleashed one after another. Boom, boom, boom. All kinds of powerful magical powers bombarded the poisonous gas clouds one after another, creating a series of loud noises. What made Mo Qingyun and the rest oppressed was that the poisonous gas clouds did not suffer much damage under the attack of the magical powers. Not only that, but after the poisonous gas cloud were dispersed by Mo Qingyun and the rest, they spread faster and wider. After a while, Gong Pingyang, who was the weakest among them, was infected by the poisonous gas. As Gong Pingyang was infected by the poisonous gas, his feet began to turn green and emit a foul smell. At the same time, a piercing itch came from his feet. So itchy. Feeling the itch on his feet, Gong Pingyang showed a pained expression. He wanted to chop off his feet. Seeing Gong Pingyang's reaction, Mo Qingyun frowned. He knew that these worms were difficult to deal with. Chapter 2359. These poisonous insects are a little strange. All of you retreat to the Fortune mainland first. After instructing everyone, Mo Qingyun controlled the Fortune mainland to send ZK and the others into the Fortune mainland. Before sending everyone into the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun sent Gong Pingyang into a deep sleep through his soul force. Only by doing so could Gong Pingyang's pain be alleviated, preventing him from chopping off his legs due to the unbearable itch. After sending everyone into the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun's expression became even more tense as he stared at the green and white worms around him. ZK and the others were no longer around, leaving him as the only target of these poisonous insects. This increased the pressure on him. If I'm not wrong, these green and white worms are probably caused by the athlete's foot. Thinking of this situation, Mo Qingyun didn't know whether to laugh or cry, not knowing what to say. It was unprecedented for such a powerful being to suffer from athlete's foot. This was the first time Mo Qingyun had encountered this kind of situation, breaking his previous understanding. Of course, while Mo Qingyun didn't know whether to laugh or cry, he was more nervous and worried. Even such a powerful existence had no way to neutralize this kind of athlete's foot poison. If he accidentally came into contact with it, with his current strength, it would be even more difficult to neutralize it. Thinking of Gong Pingyang's appearance just now, Mo Qingyun's expression became even more tense, becoming even more wary of these poisonous insects. Immediately, Mo Qingyun became 120% alert as he dodged the incoming poisonous gas. As Mo Qingyun dodged to the left and right, he managed to avoid the clusters of poisonous mist. This won't do. I can't continue like this. Sooner or later I'll be attacked. While Mo Qingyun was dodging the poisonous gas, his mind was spinning, thinking of a way to resolve the current crisis. He was very clear that there was bound to be a lapse in vigilance. Walking by the river, there was no way that one's shoes wouldn't get wet. Therefore, the best defense was still to take the offensive and kill the enemy. I can't attack the poisonous gas. I can only attack the poisonous insects themselves. Mo Qingyun's mind spun, and he immediately made a decision to attack the poisonous bugs. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed quickly, avoiding the poisonous miasma and arriving beside a poisonous bug. Rising Dragon Heavenly Blade. Mo Qingyun raised his arm and grabbed Tiger's soul. He then slashed at the venomous bug. As Mo Qingyun brandished his blade, a domineering blade light blasted towards the poisonous bug. Poochie. Facing the domineering attack of the saber light, the venomous insect was directly cut open and killed by Mo Qingyun's saber. What left Mo Qingyun dumbfounded was that when the poisonous insect's body was cut open, the poisonous gas within its body exploded like a bomb. Not good. Seeing this unforeseen event, Mo Qingyun's expression trembled, and he immediately retreated. In the blink of an eye, The area within a radius of 10 miles was filled with the poisonous gas from the poisonous insects. Not only that, but the area covered by the poisonous gas was also rapidly spreading. Based on the current situation, Mo Qingyun would be swallowed in at most 3 breaths of time. Seeing the approaching poisonous gas, Mo Qingyun's expression became even more tense. He immediately activated the fire of civilization to resist the spreading of the poisonous gas. Mo Qingyun felt fortunate that the fire of civilization was still somewhat effective in resisting the poisonous gas. Phew! Seeing that the poisonous gas had stopped spreading under the fire of civilization's resistance, Mo Qingyun took a deep breath. The fire of civilization could resist the poisonous gas, which could be considered to have solved his urgent problem. However, he was not completely out of danger yet, so he could not let his guard down. Fortunately, I only killed 1 poisonous insect. If I had killed a few more, the fire of civilization would not have been able to resist the poisonous gas. Mo Qingyun felt somewhat fortunate that he had blocked the poisonous gas attack. He did not dare to rashly kill the poisonous insects again. Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun's mood became gloomy, feeling very sullen. The poisonous gas could not be dispersed, the poisonous insects could not be killed, and escaping seemed too impossible. What was he supposed to do? Do I have to escape to the Fortune mainland? After racking his brain to no avail, the idea of escaping to the Fortune mainland appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind. When he was on the path of the stars, he had escaped the beast-hide siege by hiding on the Fortune mainland. If nothing unexpected happened, he should be able to escape the poisonous insects' siege by hiding on the Fortune mainland. After the poisonous insects retreated, he would leave the Fortune mainland, and the crisis would be resolved. However, he was a little unwilling to do so. He had not explored the dark spirit world abyss yet. If he wanted to go deeper into the dark spirit world abyss, he had to pass through the poisonous gas in front of him. More importantly, if he changed his mind now, he would most likely run into ZG and the others. At that time, if he ran back here, he would be attacked from both sides. Understanding his current situation, Mo Qingyun's expression became solemn, no longer thinking of running away. All right, although I can't kill these poisonous insects, I might be able to subdue them. An idea popped up in Mo Qingyun's mind, and he could not wait to give it a try. These poisonous insects were strange and powerful. If he could subdue them, it would be a great harvest. Most importantly, if he could subdue these poisonous insects, he would not need to fear the Heavenly Dipper Dragon Rock tribe. Although he could not defeat the Heavenly Dipper Dragon Rock tribe, he would have the capital to challenge the Heavenly Dipper Dragon Rock tribe. It's you. Mo Qingyun's gaze swept over the poisonous insects and found a target to subdue. This was a poisonous insect with a fleshy crown on its head. Mo Qingyun guessed that this insect was the leader of these poisonous insects and could give orders to the other poisonous insects. Mo Qingyun's figure flashed a few times, dodging the poisonous gas attacks, and came to the side of the fleshy crown poisonous insect. Yin-yang pupils. When he came to the side of the fleshy crown poisonous insect, Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with light, shooting out 2 rays of imposing light. Under the attack of the eye power, the poisonous insect's eyes immediately dimmed, as though it was petrified. Demonic eye soul stealing. Having succeeded in 1 strike, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate in the slightest and executed another divine ability. A terrifying soul power was released from his eyes, turning into a huge whirlpool eyeball. Once the eyeball was formed, it released a terrifying devouring power, enveloping the fleshy crown poisonous insect. Under the cover of the demonic eye, the fleshy crown poisonous insect became even more dizzy, as though it was about to fall asleep. Although the poisonous insect's realm was not low, and its poison was terrifying, its soul power was not particularly strong. After a short while, under the attack of the demonic eye's soul power, the fleshy crown poisonous insect's soul resistance was overbearingly crushed. The fleshy crown poisonous insect's resistance was crushed, and it was controlled by Mo Qingyun, not daring to attack Mo Qingyun again. Chapter 2360. Just as Mo Qingyun had guessed, under the flesh-crowned venomous bug's command, the surrounding venomous bugs stopped attacking. As the venomous bugs stopped attacking, Mo Qingyun's heart, which had been hanging in the air, finally relaxed a little. The crisis in front of him had been resolved, and he could proceed with the next step of his plan. According to the venomous bug's memories, it is only a small leader. There are even stronger commanders and bug kings above it. Thinking about the hierarchy of the venomous bug race, Mo Qingyun's heart sank again. He thought to himself, it seems that if I want to fully control the venomous bug race, I have to capture the bug king and queen. Mo Qingyun thought for a while. Then he had a plan and knew how to implement it. Since he had already subdued a flesh-crowned venomous bug, it shouldn't be difficult for him to subdue the venomous bug commanders, bug kings, and bug queens. With that in mind, Mo Qingyun ordered the flesh-crowned venomous bug to summon the other venomous bug leaders. The flesh-crowned venomous bug didn't disobey Mo Qingyun's order at all. It immediately summoned the other venomous bug leaders. Soon, another flesh-crowned venomous bug arrived and noticed Mo Qingyun not far away. Noticing Mo Qingyun's presence, the new flesh-crowned venomous bug was enraged and immediately attacked Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun smirked, and his eyes were filled with mockery. He smiled and said, "You alone can't hurt me. Be obedient and submit to me." Yin-yang dual pupils. Two rays of imposing light shot out from Mo Qingyun's eyes and blasted into the venomous bug's consciousness. Under the attack of the two rays of light, the flesh-crowned venomous bug's consciousness immediately fainted for a short while. Demonic eye soul stealing. Mo Qingyun's attacks did not stop after he succeeded in one strike. He used his innate ability again. A strong soul power blasted out from Mo Qingyun's eyes and turned into a huge vortex eye. Once the eye vortex was formed, it emitted a strong, tearing force that acted on the venomous insect. Not long after, this flesh-crowned venomous insect was also under Mo Qingyun's control, just like the previous one. Next, as time passed, one after another, the poisonous bug leaders were subdued by Mo Qingyun. Several hours later, under Mo Qingyun's tireless efforts, the entire swarm of venomous insects was under his control, becoming a powerful force in his hands. After subduing all the poisonous insects, Mo Qingyun revealed an expectant expression and said, "Since all the poisonous insects have been subdued, next, we should borrow their strength to pass through the poisonous fog in front of us." Just as Mo Qingyun was thinking about this, a group of people entered his line of sight. Looking at the group of people quickly approaching, Mo Qingyun's eyes flashed with a tinge of surprise. He said, "You guys are pretty fast, but it's a pity that you guys are still one step too late. Now that I have subdued the swarm of venomous insects, I am no longer afraid of you guys." Just as Mo Qingyun was muttering to himself, he was filled with anticipation and couldn't wait to fight with Ziqi and the others. He wanted to use Ziqi and the others to test the combat strength of the swarm of venomous insects and see if it was as he thought. Just as Mo Qingyun was filled with anticipation, Zi Chengrong and the others arrived and sized him up coldly. "Brat, you're quite lucky. You actually managed to make it here alone. You probably didn't expect us to come in here too. Brat, there's no way out for you. Just surrender obediently." Looking at Mo Qingyun in front of them, the experts of the Dark Demon Tribe were proud of themselves. "You are Mo Qingyun?" Just as the experts of the Dark Demon Tribe were clamoring, Zi Chengrong walked out of the crowd and sneered. "You are indeed not simple to be able to grow to such an extent under the constant pursuit of my tribe. Thank you for the compliment. I will continue to work hard and will not let you guys down." In response to Zi Chengrong's words, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and cupped his fists, looking indifferent. Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Ziqi and the others frowned. They were surprised by Mo Qingyun's reaction. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun should be panicking in the face of such a situation. However, Mo Qingyun looked as though he didn't care at all, which was a little strange. You can still pretend to be calm in such a situation. I have an even higher opinion of you. Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Zicheng nodded his head in appreciation. He waved his arm and placed his hands behind his back. With your talent, it would be a pity if you died here today. Why don't you follow me from now on and conquer the world with me in the future? Mo Qingyun did not reply to Zicheng's suggestion. Instead, he looked at him with interest. From Zicheng's words and Zichi's attitude towards him, Mo Qingyun could tell that this young man was not simple. I forgot to tell you that I am Zicheng, the Saint Prince of the Dark Demon tribe. Under Mo Qingyun's curious gaze, Zicheng raised his head and introduced himself. With your current talent, although you can look down on the entire Wasteland continent, the Wasteland continent is too small. It can't even be considered a one-star realm. If you leave the Wasteland continent one day, you'll have a hard time moving around without anyone to guide you. So you are Zicheng. After knowing Zicheng's identity, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He suddenly understood. Given Zicheng's status, it was normal for Zichi and the others to be respectful to him. This Zicheng is indeed not simple. Based on what he said, he seems to be very familiar with the outside world. Recalling what Zicheng had said, Mo Qingyun frowned. He could not help but guess Zicheng's identity. He thought to himself, if I'm not mistaken, Zicheng might be a reincarnated powerhouse. He might have come from a higher realm when he was alive. After understanding this, Mo Qingyun's attitude towards Zicheng changed drastically. This person might be a strong opponent. I'll give you 10 breaths to think about it. Seeing that Mo Qingyun was silent, Zicheng was not in a hurry to make a move. He said to Mo Qingyun, let me remind you one last time. So far, you're the first person on the desolate continent that I value. I hope you won't make a mistake. I'm honored. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly. He did not take Zicheng's words to heart. He said, I don't need 10 breaths to think about it. I'll give you an answer now. I reject your proposal. You are arrogant. Zicheng was not unhappy with Mo Qingyun's decision. He nodded calmly and said, although I admire your talent, if I can't use you, I will have to destroy you. After Zicheng finished speaking, he waved his arm and ordered Zichi and the others to make a move. Chapter 2361. You want to fight? The corners of Mo Qingyun's mouth curled up slightly as he gazed at Zichi and the others who had surrounded him. He grinned meaningfully and said, fine, I'll play with you and turn you into men with a scent. Zhuonya, Zhuopan, lead the others to attack them. Under Mo Qingyun's command, the Insect King and Insect Queen flew out of the poisonous gas barrier with a swarm of poisonous insects. In a short while, Zichi and the others who had surrounded Mo Qingyun were completely surrounded by the poisonous insects. These demonic insects are obeying his orders. How can this be? How did this brat do it? No wonder this brat is so fearless. He has such a trump card. These demonic insects are very powerful. It will not be easy to deal with. We are in a bad situation. Looking at the poisonous insects surrounding them, Zichi and the others' faces changed drastically. Fear flashed in their eyes. Compared to Zichi and the rest, Zicheng was clearly more shocked. He exclaimed, This is the dark sky corroding foot venomous worms. Why would they appear here? Is the dark spirit abyss related to that place? Looking at the poisonous insects that were rapidly approaching them, Zicheng was shocked and panic flashed in his eyes. Obviously, he knew the poisonous insects very well. He knew where they came from and how terrifying they were. Retreat immediately. Do not attack the poisonous insects or the poisonous gas ball. After a short moment of shock, Zicheng regained his composure and quickly reminded Zichi and the others. Unfortunately, his warning was still a step too late. Just as he spoke, Zichi and the others had already attacked the poisonous gas ball and the poisonous insects. Poof, poof, poof. Faced with Zichi and the others' attacks, the poisonous gas ball and the poisonous insects were either dispersed or killed. When the poisonous insects and the poisonous gas ball were destroyed, the terrifying poisonous gas spread rapidly to the surroundings. In the blink of an eye, the poisonous gas filled the surroundings and engulfed a dark demon tribe expert. My leg is so itchy. After the dark demon tribe expert was engulfed by the poisonous gas ball, he let out a miserable shriek. As he screamed, a terrifying purple-green gas came out of his feet. Under the unbearable pain and itch, the dark demon powerhouse instinctively cut off his own legs. Zichi and the rest of the Dark Tribe members were shocked when they saw the Dark Tribe members' actions. At this moment, they finally understood how terrifying the poisonous insects around them were. Not good, the poisonous gas is spreading. We have to leave this place immediately. Seeing this, Zi Chungrong frowned and his expression became tense. He said anxiously, "Quickly detonate a Saint Power Star cluster and use the power of the explosion to resist the corrosion of the poisonous gas. Detonate the Saint Power Star cluster." Zi Chung and the others frowned when they heard Zi Chungrong's reminder. They did not understand what Zi Chungrong meant. To them, the Saint Power Star cluster was the foundation of their cultivation. If it exploded, it would definitely cause great damage to their foundation. At best, 10,000 years of cultivation would be wasted, and at worst, his cultivation would regress. They would never do such a thing unless they had no other choice. Hurry up and do as I say. Otherwise, all of you will die here today. Seeing that Zi Chung and the rest were in a daze, Zi Chungrong's expression became even more complicated. He immediately urged everyone. Seeing Zi Chungrong's abnormal behavior, Zi Chung and the rest were shocked and realized the seriousness of the matter. They knew Zi Chungrong's character very well. He was the kind of person who would not be affected by the collapse of Mount Tai. Now, there was obviously a reason for him to have such an extreme reaction. When Zi Chung and the rest thought of this, they no longer hesitated and immediately detonated their Saint Power Star clusters. After detonating their Saint Power Star clusters, Zi Chung and the rest used the power of the explosion to resist the corrosion of the poisonous gas around them. Under the power of the explosion of the Saint Power Star clusters, the poisonous gas that was corroding Zi Chung and the rest were all blocked off. Retreat! Let's leave this place first. Seeing that the poisonous gas was blocked off, Zi Chungrong's expression relaxed, and he ordered Zi Chung and the rest. Hearing Zi Chungrong's order, Zi Chung and the rest did not dare to stay any longer and immediately retreated. You want to escape? Seeing Zi Chungrong and the rest's reaction, Mo Qinyan grinned and teased them. Why are you in such a hurry to leave? Let me give you something first. It won't be too late for you to leave. After Mo Qinyan finished speaking, he raised his hand and took out balls of fire. These balls of fire contained the eggs of the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled worm, which he had prepared beforehand. After taking out the balls of fire, Mo Qinyan waved his arm and threw the balls of fire at Zi Chungrong and the rest. Facing Mo Qinyan's attack, Zi Chung and the rest looked at him with disdain and did not take it to heart. Young man, although we were careless this time and suffer a loss at your hands, you still can't stop us. Looking at the balls of fire that were rapidly approaching him, Zi Chungrong looked at him with disdain and said disdainfully. In Zi Chungrong's eyes, although Mo Qinyan was very talented, his current strength was not enough. As soon as Zi Chungrong finished speaking, he threw out a few palms in the air to attack the balls of fire that were rapidly approaching him. Bang! 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 Under Zi Chungrong's attack, the balls of fire were quickly destroyed and bloomed like fireworks. After the balls of fire were destroyed, Zi Chungrong and the rest's expressions became even more disdainful. Young man, with your strength, don't embarrass yourself. Saint Prince, you don't have to deal with this young man personally. Let us do it. That young man is protected by the demonic insects. How are we going to deal with him? Seeing Zi Chung Rong's attack, the surrounding expert from the Dark Demon clan asked Zi Chung Rong for instructions. While everyone was talking, inconspicuous spots of light landed on their bodies. Even Zi Chung Rong himself did not notice this. This was because all his attention was on the dark nirvana corroding venomous worms. He did not expect that Mo Qingyun's balls of fire were to scatter the eggs of the dark spirit, devouring golden-shelled worm. The dark nirvana corroding venomous worms are very difficult to deal with. I did not make any preparations before coming here, so I can't guard against them for the time being. Zi Chung Rong looked dignified as he listened to the crowd's instructions. He briefly explained to them and said, "The dark spirit abyss is more mysterious than I thought. Let's retreat for the time being. After I have made some preparations, we will come in again." Retreat? If we retreat, what about that young man? Yes, if he gives up the opportunity, it will be too easy for him. Hearing Zi Chung Rong's decision, the surrounding expert from the Dark Demon clan were unwilling to accept it. Chapter 2362. Ignore him. With his current strength, he can't go deep into the dark spirit abyss. When Zi Chung Rong turned to leave, he gave a simple answer to everyone's puzzle question. According to his speculation, if the dark spirit abyss was related to that place, Mo Qingyun would definitely not be able to go deep into it. Hence, he was not worried that Mo Qingyun would be able to reap great rewards from the dark spirit abyss after they left. Hearing what Zi Chung Rong said, Zi Qi and the others did not ask any more questions and followed behind Zi Chung Rong silently. From what they knew, Zi Chung Rong had never been wrong, and they assumed that it would be the same this time. After a while, under Zi Chung Rong's lead, everyone quickly left the place. Mo Qingyun did not chase after Zi Chung Rong and the others as they fled. Instead, he stood where he was with an indifferent expression. He knew clearly that with his current strength, he would not be able to make Zi Chung Rong and the others stay. Even if he chased after them, it would not be of much use. Moreover, the dark spirit devouring golden-shelled worms' eggs were enough to make Zi Qi and the others suffer. I hope that you will like my gift when the time comes. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and muttered to himself. He then retracted his gaze and looked towards the greenish-purple mist. Mo Qingyun glanced at the mist and then looked at the king bug and queen bug. He sent a voice transmission to them. "Zwanya, Zwapan, do you have any ideas to help me pass through this mist?" The dark spirit devouring venomous worms knew the mist better than the dark spirit devouring venomous worms. Hearing Mo Qingyun's soul transmission, the insect king and insect queen whispered to each other for a while before transmitting. "Master, our insect hive can isolate the poisonous gas. You can enter the insect hive. We will use the insect hive to send you over." "All right." Mo Qingyun nodded and agreed to the king bug and queen bug suggestion. Then, Mo Qingyun entered the worm nest and let the dark spirit devouring venomous worms help him pass through the mist. The area covered by the fog was extremely vast. Under the escort of the dark sky corroding foot venomous insect swarm, it took 3 whole days to pass through. After passing through the fog, Mo Qingyun left the insect nest and said to the insect king and insect queen beside him, "I want to continue to go deeper into the dark spirit abyss. It's not convenient to bring you along. I'll send you to a place." "Yes." The bug king and bug queen didn't dare to object to Mo Qingyun's arrangement. They immediately nodded respectfully. Subsequently, Mo Qingyun sent all the heaven nirvana corroding feet worms into the Fortune mainland. After sending the dark nirvana corroding feet poisonous insects to the Fortune mainland, Mo Qingyun flew deeper into the dark spirit world abyss to see if there were any fortuitous encounters. Mo Qingyun didn't fly very far before he arrived at a forest. He saw a huge black tree that was bent over. To be more precise, these curved black trees should be the leg hair of the giants. After arriving at the giant's leg, Mo Qingyun was not in a hurry to continue his journey. Instead, he looked ahead with a tense expression. He had an instinctive feeling that the giant's leg wasn't safe, and there might be more demonic insects appearing. As expected, while Mo Qingyun was looking ahead, red-shelled demonic insects holding black pitchforks walked out from the giant's leg hair. These demonic insects looked a little like lobsters, but they had a pair of human arms. What shocked Mo Qingyun the most was that among these red-shelled demonic insects, there was a mid-level galaxy realm demonic insect. One had to know that the dark sky corroding feet Worm King and Bug Queen were only at the peak of the early nebula realm. Once they reached the mid-level nebula realm, Mo Qingyun would have a hard time dealing with them. More importantly, since there was a mid-level nebula realm demonic insect, there was bound to be a second one. Imagine being besieged by a group of mid-level nebula realm demonic beasts. That situation was absolutely terrifying. Could it be that I have to stop here? Looking at the red-shelled demonic insects in front of him, Mo Qingyun's eyebrows tightened, and he hesitated. Given his current strength, it was obviously a little impossible to force his way through. Kwang, at that moment, while Mo Qingyun was hesitating, a dazzling blood-red light soared into the sky. When the blood-red light bloomed, a shocking bloodline power also burst out from there. Could this power be the giant's blood crystal? Mo Qingyun's expression changed when he sensed the power of the bloodline. His eyes widened as he said excitedly, "If I can obtain the giant's blood crystal, my cultivation will definitely soar. I might even be able to reach the galaxy grade in one go." As this thought appeared in his mind, Mo Qingyun made a decision and flew in the direction of the blood-red light. Let's do it. In the process of flying in the direction of the blood-red light, Mo Qingyun's expression was firm as he said to himself, "Although there are some risks, riches and honor are found in danger. This is the biggest opportunity of my trip." Mo Qingyun's thoughts were very clear. If he continued to go deeper into the dark spirit abyss, the demonic insects he encountered would definitely be stronger. With his current strength, it was absolutely impossible to contend with them. Therefore, it was meaningless to continue going deeper. In other words, the giant's leg was the limit of his trip. Whether he could gain anything from entering the dark spirit abyss this time depended on whether he could obtain the giant's blood crystal. Stop right there. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the leader of the red-shelled demonic insects warned with jerky words. When it issued the warning, it also led the red-shelled demonic insects to besiege Mo Qingyun. Seeing dozens of demonic insects attacking, Mo Qingyun did not dare to be careless and immediately summoned the dark sky corrosive feet venomous insects. Zhunyez Wapan stopped them. After summoning the dark sky corrosive feet venomous insects, Mo Qingyun ordered them to help him in the battle. Hearing Mo Qingyun's order, Zhunya and Zhuapan immediately responded and led the dark sky corrosive feet venomous insects to attack. Seeing the appearance of the dark sky corrosive feet venomous insects, the leader of the red-shelled demonic insects immediately became furious and shouted, "Zhunya, Zhuapan, are you tired of living? How dare you bring people into our territory?" Zhunya and Zhuapan did not respond to the leader's question and continued to attack with all their strength. Seeing the actions of the dark sky corrosive feet venomous insects, the red-shelled demonic insects were all furious and no longer negotiated with Zhunya and Zhuapan. Mo Qingyun did not pay attention to the two demonic insects fighting. In the blink of an eye, he arrived not far from the blood-red light. When Mo Qingyun arrived, he saw that there was an even larger group of red-shelled demonic insects gathered around the blood-red light. They were looking at the center of the blood-red light with covetous eyes. 1 late-stage nebula realm and 7 middle-stage nebula realm. What a powerful lineup. Stopping not far from the blood-red light, Mo Qingyun sensed the strength of all the red-shelled demonic insects around the blood-red light. After discovering the strength of these demonic insects, Mo Qingyun did not rush up rashly. Instead, he quietly waited for an opportunity. With his current strength, he was still unable to deal with these demonic insects. He could not rashly fight with them. Then, Mo Qingyun hid in a corner and silently observed the battle. Under Mo Qingyun's observation, he discovered that although the black shadow had the upper hand, it was unable to do anything to the red-shelled demonic insect. As time continued to pass, its advantage would become weaker and weaker. Eventually, it would be defeated by the red-shelled demonic insect. If he was not wrong, the red-shelled demonic insect had dealt with the remnant spirit in the same way. This can't go on. If the remnant spirit is defeated and the red-shelled demonic insect obtains the blood crystal, it will be even more difficult to snatch it. Mo Qingyun watched the battle for a while. He was silently planning how to reap the benefits of this battle. The best way to deal with this was to let both sides suffer great losses. While Mo Qingyun was pondering, a surprise voice came from the remnant spirit's mouth. The bloodline aura of the Dark Sky Holy Clan. Could there be a member of my clan here? After the remnant spirit's bewildered words, it revealed a curious look and released its soul power to sense. After sensing for a while, the remnant spirit discovered Mo Qingyun not far away. It looked at Mo Qingyun curiously and said, "There is indeed the bloodline of the Dark Sky Holy Clan in his body, but the power of the bloodline is very thin. In addition, I can sense a few weak bloodlines in his body, as well as a vague, mysterious bloodline. This little guy is really strange. Is this the strength of a galaxy grade?" Mo Qingyun was shocked when he sensed the remnant spirit's soul power. He felt as if he had been thrown into an ice cellar. At this moment, Mo Qingyun finally realized how powerful a galaxy-grade martialist was. This was really like the saying, one step leads to a chasm, one step leads to a moat. Ordinary nebula-grade powerhouses were like ants in front of such powerful strength. Although he is not a pure member of the Dark Sky Holy Clan, his physical body is not bad. I can barely borrow his body to be reborn. After seeing through Mo Qingyun, the remnant spirit's mouth curled into a sinister smile. Its eyes were filled with strong anticipation. I will borrow this little guy's physical body to be reborn. After refining the body of my original body, I will be able to return to the heaven realm very soon. Boom! As soon as the remnant spirit finished speaking, it separated a strand of spirit consciousness and rushed into Mo Qingyun's sea of consciousness domineeringly. After being attacked by the remnant spirit, Mo Qingyun's body shook immediately. A strong sense of panic rose in his heart. Oh no, it wants to take over my body to be reborn. This is bad. Mo Qingyun had not expected that the remnant spirit would take over his body to be reborn after discovering him. The fire of civilization had been ignited. Yin-yang dual pupils. In the face of the remnant spirit's soul attack, Mo Qingyun did not have the slightest bit of carelessness. Chapter 2364. You're courting death. Seeing Mo Qingyun's attitude, the remnant spirit roared angrily and began to attack Mo Qingyun's primordial spirit. Dark devouring spirit gate. Following the remnant spirit's roar, the spirit power it had split off turned into a whirlpool black gate. When the whirlpool black gate appeared, it released a terrifying devouring power and swallowed Mo Qingyun's spirit power and primordial spirit. You want to devour my spirit power and primordial spirit? It's not that easy. Refine. In the face of the remnant spirit's devouring power, Mo Qingyun was not afraid at all. He did his best to refine the remnant spirit's spirit power. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the remnant spirit was a little surprised. Then it laughed contemptuously and said, "Boy, with your insignificant strength, you actually want to refine my power. Aren't you a little delusional? If you were at full strength, I might not be a match for you. However, it's a little hard to say now." In the face of the remnant spirit's contempt and disdain, Mo Qingyun was not moved at all. Instead, he replied indifferently. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the remnant spirit's attack weakened significantly. Obviously, Mo Qingyun's words had hit its weak spot. Now, most of its energy was used to deal with the red-shelled demonic insect. It could not spare more energy to deal with Mo Qingyun. It was because of this that it had used gentle means to coax Mo Qingyun into giving up his physical body. Otherwise, with its powerful galaxy-grade strength, it could have forcibly taken over Mo Qingyun's body. It seems that I'm right. You are now powerless, right? Seeing that the remnant spirit was silent, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed, and he teased the remnant spirit. Although the remnant spirit did not give a direct answer to his words, its actions had already made it clear. Immediately, Mo Qingyun worked even harder to refine the power of the remnant spirit. Of course, Mo Qingyun was refining the power of the remnant spirit, mainly to intensify the gate of fortune. The remnant spirit's devouring power was very strong and pure. It was most suitable for the gate of fortune to devour. After devouring the power of the remnant spirit, the gate would definitely become more saturated. It might even complete a reorganization. Wang. As Mo Qingyun continued to refine, the gate of fortune, which was immersed in his body, gradually reacted. Success. Sensing the gate's reaction, Mo Qingyun's assess, Mo Qingyun became excited. In a short while, shadow gate, the shadow door shadow gate, the remnant light shadow, the remnant spirit, S devouring power, S devouring powers devouring sis, the spirit, sis the spirit. When the remnant spirit sensed the devouring power of the gate of fortune, he was shocked. He exclaimed in shock, such a powerful and domineering devouring power.